really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, really interesting how he considered the fold so heavily because people just under bluff in these $400 tournaments. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, what are his bluffs? You know, like if we really think about it, like sure, ace high, like ace high has some showdown value if you had ace five, and when he raises the turn with maybe some backdoor diamond draw or something like that, and he actually gets called. And on this kind of board, like what hands do you have that you're folding?
And it's gonna have some misdraws and things too. So I think calling is the only option myself. Let's see if Boogaloo got away from it. Ooh, call is 6.
So this is close between call.
Really interesting. So call is 6, raise is 7,500 is 10 points. And I'm going to say he said that because this is a very bad player. And so he thinks the very bad player is going to stack off here with worse queens a lot. I'm going to guarantee that's what he's going to say. Very interesting, though. I thought call for sure was the right answer. I never am in this spot. I don't know. Interesting spot, too. I think this is a little bit of a lesson for everyone out there, too. A lot of times, the hands we want to float with, like this one, are better as raises. So this kind of falls in that category.
Yeah, and he was kind of an echo chamber for us there, saying, you know, we just get better hands to call and worse to fold.
Yep.
Like he's going to have some gut shots in his range. He's going to have spade draw. He's going to have king X. And we kind of know, I mean, we kind of identify kind of what cards are going to be bad for us on future streets, and we're aware how to proceed on those cards.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's a very good point, man. You right.
That was the best. You didn't say anything. You won. Just straight up.
You won. I'm just spewing.
All right, so ooh, look at this. You're not opening this. You just looked at this. You're not opening.
Button cut off, hijack, low jack, under the gun one. You are right.
Come on now. Okay. I am. So let's see if he.
He's got to open it, or there wouldn't be a hand.
It wouldn't
I'm
be a
already
quiz.
down on points.
You're already down on points in real life. Now, obviously, you're gonna cheat, but
I'm gonna evolve.
you're gonna adapt, right?
All right, let's play it.
I'm going to cry if he says he's folding here. Like, if he's like, yeah, you should be folding this in this kind of tournament, and you were actually right. All right, cool.
Wah, wah.
Like a spot where we have
Ah!
standard.
Yes.
And the reason is because queen.
I just want to say for the record that this is the best 3-point score I've ever gotten in my life. Because the right answer was fold.
But you heard what he said about the tables. This is a 3K.
Here comes the excuses. 10
The
points
excuses
fold.
to
It says
open
right
if your
here.
table is particularly tight and weak. Welcome to the $5 2K world. I mean, the $11 10K. I'm opening this, yeah, for sure.
This is the best 3 points of my life.
Oh, that's hilarious. And everybody's 14.
Nailed it. What the hell kind of play is that from King Queen? Who does that?
What the hell? Yeah, so Matt.
Jonathan Little's an absolute crusher, so it's nice to have him.
Yeah, I agree, and I
He's
always
just
love
coaching.
playing right after sessions like this because I feel like my brain's warmed up. I'm thinking through things, and so it's a good way to start your session for sure.
But, all right, guys, this is it.
What's up, Mike? You want to give a gist? He was saying Narco Cop was playing about D-pipping about 28% of hands. He had been very aggressive in this $10 buy-in, and here are the options to fold, to call, to raise to 1,200, raise to... What? Wait a minute, he made it 800, and my man's giving options for 12 and 1,400 hands. So it's already getting kind of spicy. That's so nasty. To be on a site with these other crushers, well-known poker public figures is pretty exciting, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't mention that when I was kind of giving a little intro here too. Assassinato, Matt Affleck, John Little, all coaches on the site, so very highly respectable, quality poker content.
Yep, Evan Jarvis as well. Remember Evan Jarvis, Matt Affleck, Assassinato, John Little.
Yeah, so I guess that just makes sense. He just have the ace of clubs in his hand. That's interesting, though. I
How
thought
many
that was
points you got?
interesting.
You didn't do that bad. 45.
I like how you just pat me on the back. You didn't do that bad. Well, yeah, good job, buddy. Like,
The back.
I remember I got the higher score in the first one. So, you know, we're 1 for 1, buddy.
I just want to know.
Calling, guys. Let's see if we're good.
Similar situation. That's pre-flop? I think the pre.
All right, guys, we're checking, I guess. Oh, for fuck's sake.
One of the things I see people when it comes to poker is when people get to the turn and they make an opportunity.
When you're facing a min raise or just a touch more than a min raise, and there's an ante in play, which is going to be the case in most tournaments, I think, going forward, you want to defend pretty wide. If your opponent's making a 2.
All right, cool. You're going 1,400.
I'm going 1,400, guys.
I'm gonna go call with the arm and let's see what happens.
All right, and
I would fold in game though, for the record, in case that's the winning game.
You won. You win. I have to concede. You win.
14K.
14K, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, no, we cannot win. This is a pretty rough spot because damn it.
Mm-hmm. Where you gonna get my chat? They like naughty things. They like just beer, alcohol, you know.
All right, let's do I can do a $10 ACR giveaway.
$10 ACR giveaway courtesy of my man Toe. For me beating that ass heads up in this. Sorry. No, I'm kidding. We'll do this. We'll have to do it at least once a week, man. And then, you know, we'll do it. We'll do it every week a couple times.
So it's a tie.
I guess we got to give out $10 to each other's communities. We'll just do our own $10 free roll for each. Or does that sound fair?
Yes. Do you know what this means?
You win. I give his chat $10. Take it.
So that's cool
Filthy
because we have
animal.
2 ties and then a win from you and a win from me. This is like the epic battle. It's perfect. It's great.
Yeah, we're even Stevens.
This is awesome.
Take it.
I love it.
You know.
Stop. We got a giveaway going. Let's run the giveaway for the $10 ACR winner. Closing the giveaway. Drawing the winner. My man Sebs are getting the $10 ACR giveaway for this one. I think we're going live.
We're live. What's up, baby?
What's up,
All right,
guys?
there we go.
Good
There it
morning.
is.
Here for the PokerCoach.com study session stream. Today's guest, we have PokerCoaching.com coach Tristan Wade. Welcome, Tristan.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us, man. I really appreciate you taking the time early on a Saturday. I know we live in the same city, so it's super early for us.
I haven't been to sleep yet. What are you talking about? It's
Right?
Vegas.
Really living the Vegas life. Cool. PokerCoaching.com study session stream, guys. This is where we use Jonathan Little's PokerCoaching.com website. Get a chance to get better together. We go through these quizzes. What'll happen is we'll go through the quizzes. We'll kick it over to you guys, see what you would do. We'll say what we would do. We'll see what the coach of the moment would do in the video. We'll have 2 of you compete, one from my stream, one from Six's stream for $5. You guys compete so you can get a better score. And we go from there. If you sign up for PokerCoaching.com, !PC in my chat. Mess that up. 1 second. !PC in Six's chat. You will get big blind charts for 100 blinds or more. Access to, I believe it's 20 free quizzes. A few homework assignments. If you are so inclined to sign up for the premium membership, you will get, there's now 1,062 quizzes. Homework
Yep.
assignments up the wazoo. Weekly webinars with these guys. You can get webinars with guys like Tristan, Matt Affleck, Evan Jarvis just did one on like the healthy side of doing yoga and meditating and stuff while playing poker because he's that kind of hippie. And all that stuff available. You can get in front of these guys. There's more content on here than you can possibly consume. So check that out. Sixes, did I miss anything, buddy?
Never ever. Well, staking opportunities, but that's kind of
weird
on
right
hold.
now, right?
That's all weird right now. But nonetheless, that'll come back. And yeah, man, tons of free content, good stuff. So I'll highly encourage you guys to check out the free and the webinars, man. I've been checking out at least 1 or 2 of the webinars a week. I think those are fucking phenomenal, especially the draft, the Acevedo stuff, the cash game stuff. So yeah, don't forget to check that stuff out. And nonetheless, let's introduce our special guest today. Tristan Wade, man, has a pretty sick resume. He's been grinding since pre-Black Friday. He's been in the game for a minute, guys. I've been a fan for a while, lurking his success for a while. So yeah, man, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Just happy to be here. Still here, still playing.
Still in the game, yeah.
Life's good.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, you want to give everybody a little bit of your poker background, like what you're focusing on now, kind of where you started?
Yeah, started playing in freshman year in college. Like, a lot of people started back at the Moneymaker boom, caught poker on ESPN, like my generation, like we all probably did.
Well, the same exact story.
Yep. And then just been playing ever since. And lately have been focused on playing probably more cash, but I still am a tournament guy. I was always like a tournament guy. Just love how tournaments work, the strategy of tournaments, the ultimate goal of winning a tournament, even though that world is insane in itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where I am now. And I love to poker coach. I've been coaching for a long time. I've been with poker coaching for over a year. So I'm always studying. I'm always trying to learn and get better. I'm always fucking up hands. I'm always trying to do something aggressive that's way outside the box that I shouldn't have been doing. And, so yeah, always learning and just loving the game.
Would you say most of your students are cash or tournament? Do you get a good mix?
I get a mix, but I would probably say they lean toward tournaments. I think everyone's kind of hunting for that tournament glory. It gives them like it solidifies their stance in like poker. So I feel like
I never thought about it that way.
I feel like people the goal is to win a tournament. It's hard to have goals in cash game that aren't just monetary. So I think that's why we see more tournament interest.
It's really interesting that you said it that way because I never really thought about how it does solidify. Like I've been working hard on my game and I won a tournament and there's a result that
you get a little legacy behind it.
And it's funny because Sixes and I have you know how it goes, like especially when you're playing a long time, you kind of go in these plateaus and then inclines, right? And for a while you're here with your game and then all of a sudden you learn something new and you go like this. And then you're here for a while and then you go like this. And the longer you've been in the game, the more you work on it, those plateaus and inclines are further and further in between. And Six and I have been working like crazy the last month or so, and we're on that incline,
That's fun.
And sometimes you don't get the immediate results, which is, you got to be strong when that happens, And it's always interesting. The more you learn in this game, the more you realize you don't know shit.
Yeah,
especially now that there's solvers, then you really realize like shit.
Mind blown.
Yeah, trying to understand some of the solver stuff is complex in its own right.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I think with tournaments too and how people just react to them, you can instantly see how some concept you learned that you just applied in a tournament that made you get the final table or third. It's like instant gratification in those senses. So yeah, it's just so engaging to people, I think. And it's just so much more rewarding. Yeah.
Yeah, just being able to live that story through a tournament, and say, wow, I was short at this point. I persevered, I was owning people, had this stack.
I like the way the blinds change things, the dynamics of tournaments change constantly, like you said, for sure. And Sixes and I were really competitive athletes for most of our lives. And so for me personally, it's, now that I'm old and beat up, this is how I get my little competitive fix. And I need that in my life. I do, for sure.
Definitely. Yep.
Cool. Let's let these guys go ahead and start entering poker coaching in my chat, poker coaching in Toe's chat. That'll give you an opportunity to enter the drawing to compete for $5. While you guys are entering poker coaching in the chat, we're going to go ahead and pick a quiz and get started, man. What's up, Biloxi? Good to see you there. Kiyats, meow. Good to see you guys early this morning.
Dean, thank you for that follow as well.
All right, Tristan. Yeah, do you like, I don't know if you can see our screens. Maybe we should pick because we've done so many of the newer ones. So
Sure.
Yeah, you go. I'm here with you guys. I'm at the quizzes screen too. So
And then just,
Okay, cool.
just a warning, we're probably going to make you do one of your own. And in that note, don't feel bad. Matt Affleck fucked up his own quiz. So,
Yeah, he got one of his own wrong.
so if that happens, you're not the first.
yeah, trust me. Sometimes I look back on my quizzes and I'm after I like pile a hand or something. I'm like, okay, yeah, I fucked this hand up for sure.
So funny, man.
Cool. Where do you want to start? Sixes. I immediately go to Faraz because I know. Oh, you want to start with cash?
Well, Faraz. Well, I don't have any new Faraz on mine.
1057. It's not new for you.
Nope. I mean, no.
I was
we were
out
here
last
last week. Yeah, you were gone last week.
All right, cool. So then you got to pick it, buddy.
Yeah, I do. Let's start right away with some cash. Let's start with this. I'm trying to look for a hand that looks kind of interesting for some cash. Obviously, how about 1049? King Jack
49
suited,
it is.
high stakes, live cash, so it should be good.
Let's do it.
With Lexi. All right, guys. I'm ready to draw. We got a few people in there.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll draw as well. We've got a handful of people. Good shot to get in there. It's only a couple people. Let's do it. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I already drew, and we got iHawks Matt.
Boom! Biloxi. What's up, my dude? Let's fucking go. Represent the mafia.
All right,
What's up?
Matt. You know you're representing us. He says, "All shiz." Don't blow it, buddy. Make us look good.
Make us look good. All right, 1049. Yeah, let's do
Ready to
it.
play it? Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Hey everyone, this is Lexi Gavin here with PokerCoaching.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about a hand I played. This is a 25-50 no limit cash game, and this was a ladies only cash game, so it's extra fun. So let's jump right into the action.
Folds to me, I
have King Jack of clubs and the hijack. We are 100
you
big
can hear
blinds
that?
effective, so sitting
Yeah.
with 5,000.
Through my headphones.
Was that
So
you?
do I fold, call, raise to 150, or raise to 200?
Maybe it was me. Sorry about that. It might have been a
Was it
little
me?
feedback.
It's not me.
I know my headphones were pretty fucking loud.
Or do you have your stream muted?
Oh, he might not have a stream muted. It's all right.
Whatever.
Um,
Wasn't that big of a deal.
okay,
King Jack, are
cool.
we opening it? Guys, what's up? What's up, Dennis? How you doing, buddy? Good morning.
The Kiyats meows just 3x, 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 3x. Everybody's 3xing thus far. We're all 100 bigs deep. Anybody 4x in this bitch? Better not be folding.
That's what I'm wondering. Who wants to 4x it?
Oh, who's on
Raise
the
the-
Knit Island? Matt
Knit
says 100
Island.
bigs deep. First open, 3x is probably good. 3x for Dean, 3x for Chip Critic,
Yeah, this is pretty. I mean,
200 for Machine Gun.
what you got? Biloxi's going 150, of course.
You gotta wish Machine Gun luck. He won a free ticket to the Global Main tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
And he's got a
Good
bad
luck.
habit of falling asleep in his lazy boy in the middle of the tournament, so he's coming over here. So he's paying me a little percentage of his winnings so I can keep him awake.
Call, like, wake your ass up.
It's kind
All
of
right, nothing but 150s in my chat.
yeah, I got a bunch of 3x. Machine Gun going slightly lower with 200. Jelly's going 200. It's only money, he says. Tristan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely raising here, obviously. I think that we don't really need to be 4x here that often since we're in somewhat late position. And I just think it's unnecessary, builds a bigger pot. And we don't really want to stop people from calling us. We have a really good hand. So I think 3x is fine.
Yeah, I agree. Once we start going 4x, like, how are we going to split our range? Are we just going to go 4x with our entire range? Because when we start going bigger, we should maybe have a more condensed opening range. So I don't know. Maybe just going 3x here, just kind of standard is fine.
Yeah, totally.
4x is just unnecessary in my opinion.
Totally agree. Cool.
Yep. And I think everybody, let's just get to the next
Click and go for it.
interesting decision.
So
All
I
right, let's do
gave
it.
folding a score of 1 point. This hand is very strong, and you definitely don't want to be folding it, especially when folded to you. I gave calling a score of 4 points, raised to 150 a score of 10 points, and raised to 200 a score of 6 points. Because we're 100 big blinds effective, I do like going 3x here. You could go 4x. It's okay, but when
That might have been me.
you're
If I'm
100 big
playing it,
blinds,
maybe
I
it plays
recommend going 3x.
out loud
So
somehow. I don't know.
we go 150. The big blind calls. The big blind is a solid reg.
Okay, cool. Okay, I was
So
playing.
the flop
Cool.
is 8 of hearts, 5 of diamonds, king of spades. Small blind, big blind checks. What should we do? Should we check, bet 150, bet 250, or bet 300?
All right, guys. See bet or no. Ginger, thank you for the 35 months. Ginger, that's amazing. You've been around since the beginning. I appreciate it.
That's what's up.
That's 5 of that. That should be.
Oh, yeah, I can still hear it, so it's all right. I mean, I don't know if the stream can hear the feedback. Can you guys hear that?
My bad. I just won't play. I don't know what's going on. I guess it's any audio in my computer. I guess it's coming on the stream.
That is bizarre, dude.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, especially if you have an earbud in with it.
I'll look at my settings. My bad.
And no, it's all good, man. So broke, bro. Thank you for that follow, Nick, as well. Thank you. All right, what are we doing here? We are c-betting, checking. What do you guys like? What size? We got an array of options.
Chip Kidder coming out with the 150 right away. Savage Ginger coming out with the 150. Bruce's 150.
Yeah, from Biloxi says, not having to protect from anything but dry aces. I think bet 150 to here to get value. So he's going with the smallest size.
Dennis going 250, sizing up.
150 to keep in worse. Very lightly. C-bet 150. Oh, yeah, they said it's not a distraction. So if we're still having that issue, just let it play, man. I mean, it's not bothering me. I was just wondering if they can hear it on our end.
No big deal.
Let Tristan hear it.
So broke, bro. Thank you for the follow, man. You get the screen name of the day award. Matt, what are you doing, buddy? Where you at? Annie, thank you for the follow as well. And he says 150, no need to go higher. Coming in right away.
Snow says, do you guys think because we should have a ton of C-bets on this board, we should actually bet more like 80 to 90%? Do we condense his calling range? Well, we got to... Did both players answer already?
Looking for Matt. Matt, where'd you go?
Not percent.
Oh, C-bet small, 150, he says. I see you, Matt. Yeah, we're good. 150, he says. What do you think, Sixes?
Oh, he said 80 to 90% of his range, 25% of the pot. I get what you're saying, Snost. Hey, good morning, stations. Bet 250 Albatross. All right. Yeah, so Biloxi is just going small here. Did you ask what I think?
Yeah, Matt's going small too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can just go small. It is kind of a situation where if he has an 8, a 5, 9-6, 9-7, any of those draws, he may inelastically just continue. I don't think we lose a lot, so maybe I could see sizing up being at 100 big blinds. But this is a rainbow board, pretty dry. And we're going to be opening here pretty wide and just almost c-betting range here. So just using a small size can kind of just make sense theoretically to me.
Yeah, I'm with it. I do the same thing. Definitely c-betting range. Small bet seems good to me. Got nothing really to add to all that great wisdom. What do you think, Justin? Any reason to size up?
No, you guys are spot on. I think, yeah, we're going to be c-betting this board most of the time. And, the options probably aren't optimal in my mind. I think a smaller sizing of like 80 to 100 would be best.
Yep.
On these board textures. I think 150 is even too much. We don't need to be 45% pot here.
Nope.
We can be a quarter pot or 30%. So you like, just like Sixes said, and some of the chat said, like, yeah, small bets here are really good, because then we do get called by hands that might think they do have some backdoor value, or something like a Jack 10 of hearts might float us, or yeah, the 7-9 gut shots type will never fold to a small bet.
Would you size up? It was like two-tone, 8-5, king, 2 hearts or something?
Yeah, I think that gives a little more merit to go a little bit bigger. And I mean, you could make the argument, this is cash, we're deep, let's build the pot, let's have bigger bets. But I think on these flop textures, we just really want to be small betting mostly.
Totally agree.
Nice. Yeah.
Cool. 150 it is. Let's check it out.
Yeah, 150 here as well. Let's do it.
So I gave
Can't be
checking a
anything
score of
else.
1 point, betting 150 a score of 5 points, betting 250
And
a
we're all
score
wrong.
of 10
We're all
points,
wrong.
and betting
Lexi's
300 a
the goat.
score of 6 points. Checking I don't like. I definitely like betting. There's a lot of hands that you're going to be able to
bad.
get value from.
Could you
The
guys
big
hear
blind
that?
is going to have
Barely.
a lot
That's
of
good.
8x, 5x, his 6-7 combinations. He could easily float you with ace highs. So I definitely think this is a great spot to bet for value. He's also going to assume that we're betting this board with almost our entire range. So as for sizing, I think 250 is the perfect sizing. 300 is slightly too big. You don't want to price him out to float you with his ace highs. And this isn't really a board that you have to worry about getting check raised off of. So betting 150 is actually decent too. So it's really a matter of preference, but I decided to go 250 here. And the big blind calls. Turn is a deuce of clubs. Big blind checks. So what should we do? Should we check, bet 450, bet 600, or bet 750?
Lexi's tough
I
on
got
the
an
points,
opinion
man.
about
She
this
says
now.
150 is a decent option, then bang, gives you the 5-pointer. Sheesh. Where's my 8, Lexi? Where's my 8 points?
Right? Damn, we just got slaughtered.
She said all the things we said. I think she sized up mostly because we're deep, I imagine, right? She didn't really say.
Deep or cash, and she thinks it sounds like she thinks his continuing range is going to be inelastic. Rather, he has any of his gut shots, pairs, or straight draws, or a king. He's just calling with all of it. We might lose the ace highs and then some of the back doors, but I don't know. I'm probably going smaller, but it's cash, so
Yeah,
not
I
my
think
expertise.
yeah, in like a theory sense, sure, you have a great hand in your range that can just bet bigger because you're just so high up in your value range. But I think in the theory aspect of it, you just don't want to be putting a whole lot of money into the pot on the first street. But you know, if you're making more psychological moves and exploitive plays, then I think a big sizing is fine if that's kind of the game you're in.
Right.
Sure. All right, guys, what are you doing on the turn? C-betting or trying to pot control here? And what size chip critic for 600? Dennis 600 for value. What's up, Gil? Good to see you, my buddy from Scotland.
Everybody is going 600. Dead money. What's up, my dude? We got Snost in this piece. What's up, Snosty?
What's up, Snost?
600, 600, 600. Raging Al says all in from Albatross. Biloxi says, I'm still going small with 450, but I'm choosing 600 because of her logic. So he's sizing up.
She's leveling with the
because of
coach.
that.
I like it.
Know your poker coach.
Yeah, know your coach. True.
Leveling
true.
for the points. Just 600 streamed through my chat. I don't see Matt yet. Where are you at, Matt?
I'm going to let the next quiz play, then I got to go close my garage door real quick.
And he says 600. No need to pot control. Villain hasn't shown much strength yet. You've got the best hand nearly every time. Jelly kind of backing that up himself.
You probably can't go 3 streets, so maybe 750 is good. It's not said.
Matt, where you at? Where'd you go?
Come on, Matt. He always does this, man.
Uh-oh.
Got to call him out.
Matt 6 is about to fucking fire you. There he is. Turns out to blank versus big blind. 600 here seems good this deep.
So 600, 600. They have the exact same guesses. You guys doing anything different? You sizing smaller? Checking? What are you guys thinking? What do you think, Toe?
Yeah, I mean, my standard would probably be something like in between 450 and 600, but I would definitely size up a bit on the turn. I think got one of our better kings here, considering we weren't 3-bet pre. So 600 seems pretty good. Yeah, I'm down with 600.
600 for you. I mean, that's what, 75% or so pot?
Yeah, I would probably in game be something like 500.
It's like 500. I mean, why not size up? He calls this, doesn't change much. He may fold a second barrel with some of these second pairs regardless, but we should be, I mean, he has a lot of just random King X in the big blind, especially if it feels like we condensed his range slightly from some of the complete backdoor floats when we sized up. So I'm going to think he has a pair or something a lot. And if he has a king, I want to get max value. So 650 or 750, 600 or 750, man. I'm very torn between these two sizes. I'm greedy as hell, so maybe 750
all day.
I mean, I'm greedy as hell, so maybe 750 if they've already condensed their range and went big and they call it that. So, yeah, maybe 750 for me.
You're getting trolled in my chat, Sixes. He says, "Wait, what's the SPR here?"
Motherfuckers.
There's a drinking game for every time Sixes says SPR.
Hey, man, I went weeks without saying it. Screw
You
you.
did.
Just out of spite. I'm back.
What do you think?
Spam it.
What do you think, Tristan?
Yeah, I think I mean, Six has said a couple good things about like, is this a spot where we're going to triple barrel for value? And I think once you start betting big and then betting bigger throughout, it leaves you in kind of an awkward situation because the range is getting condensed when you go with bigger sizing. So, this whole hand is going to be a little different than my default because my default would be a small bet on the flop. And then I would be going the big bet here of like 600. And you could even argue a pot bet with these widened ranges. But so yeah, as played, I think 600 is the best option, which keeps the pot somewhat manageable for 3 streets of value and hopefully allow someone to call down. But yeah, we are basically targeting a king here, and that's why going big bet isn't always going to be the best play in my opinion, because we just now condense the range to only kings and it's hard for there to be a lot of kings since we have one and there's one out there. So you just basically hope you have a sticky opponent who can't fold top pair or second pair here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
And I completely agree with everything he said there. I like that point he made. When we start going bigger, we start condensing the range of hands. If we go a quarter pot here, you can realistically say he has any ace high. He has every single draw. You know how wide his range he needs to defend when we go like 30%? Like for him not to just be, for us just to not auto profit. But when we go bigger, it does certainly condense. And we go big again, it's like, are we going to be able to bet the third street? So.
Ooh, they got a good one. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, like, had we bet just 100 on the flop or 80, then maybe we get floated by the ace 4 of diamonds or ace 3 of hearts and stuff with just ace highs with backdoors, which might now call a second barrel with their picked up gut shots and ace high, just hoping that we're, in the queen, jack, jack 10, Broadway, 9, 10, just hands with no value that are going to be barreling off here. So yeah, it's definitely a mixed range spot where you really need to know your opponents if you're going to play it like this.
It's funny, that small bet, big bet line is something we do a lot. We call it the alley-oop. You go a little small on them and then dunk it on them. Yep. Hey, Julius has got a good one. SPR is now, he's got a new anagram for it. Sixes pot realization. Strong.
I gotta overuse it. I'm about to spam it today, baby.
All right, guys, what are you guys doing out there? Matt's at 600. That's what he's doing.
All right, yeah, and as is from Biloxi to Vegas. So we're gonna.
I feel like if I have to vote, my vote's for 750 because Lexi's she's bigger than us. Yeah, she's a big thinker here. So
she's a big thinker. I love it.
Let's find out.
All right, let's do it.
So I gave checking a score of 3 points, betting 450 a score of 7 points,
click 600
bet
too.
600 a score of 10 points, and bet 750 a score of 5 points. So I definitely like to continue going for value here. She's still going to be calling you with her 6-7 combinations. She'll probably call you one more straight with 5. You could still get value from her 8x combinations, king x combinations. If she had a hand like pocket 7, she might not fold the turn. So I think that there's a lot of hands that you can still get some value from. If she had a hand that she was floating the flop with like 3-4 of hearts or something, she will probably still call another straight. So I think that you want to continue going for value. If this were a tournament, I would probably not try. I would probably try and only go for 2 streets of value here because people preserve their chips more, and it's a little less likely that you're going to be able to go for 3 streets of value, especially against the big blinds range here. But I think we can comfortably bet for value here, so I decide to go 600. She calls, and the river is a 7 of diamonds. She checks. So what should we do? Should we check? Bet 1,000, bet 1,250, or bet 1,500?
All right, guys, we get called. What are we doing now? Firing three
Bet the
streets. What do you
600.
think? Bet 600, 10
We didn't get raised, right? I left.
We
for a
didn't get
minute.
raised. Just got flatted.
Okay, cool. Triple or not? And if so, what size? Come on, boys. What we doing? We scared money or what? Okay. Do we have a 3-street hand? What do you guys think?
Marlon checking.
Galaxy says 1250. She's going to triple. You don't get big time like Lexi without tripling sometimes, right? Kiat's Meow says check.
She's got heart.
For sure. We've done a lot of Lexi quizzes.
She's a
She
boss.
battles. For sure. Frosty. What's up, my dude?
1250 starting to stream in my chat. I see from Gil, from Chip Critic, from Dean, from Dennis.
Chat scared. 1250 to 1500 could fold out worse. Stinky just going full ham at 1500. I see you. Is that it? Where did Matt go? Are we gonna wait 8 minutes?
Matt, type faster. 1250.
Of course he
We can pick on
answer,
Matt. He's a
Chad.
friend.
Come on.
1250 for Annie. Get by from Worst King. Some 8X will call. 1500 polarized range. Don't think two pair of better checks this board. They would have woken up at some time, basically, Judley.
We got somebody in the chat watching kids.
Check for gingers. 6-9 gets there on the gutter. Some random two pairs. Worst King X still there. Matt's working it out. Alex, I'll take the triple Lindy for 1250.
Somebody's watching kids, doing dishes, and watching the study stream.
I mean, Matt
you're
does
the,
have
you're
like
the true MVP.
12 kids.
Dad life. I love it. You have
What's
to
the
be
bet size,
in a
Matt?
game with some straight up heathens to triple this for value after betting so large.
Does every 6X hand that continue just got there?
All right, come on. We got to go, Matt. Let's
Matt,
go.
what's the size? I think I want a crying caller, mate, or King X, like a checkers here. So 1K, he says.
Matt's going 1K. Yeah, I mean, I'm betting for sure. I'll probably bet folding. If he does have the heart to check raise, still enough. Worst King X he can call with. I know we went big, but I don't expect the big blind to ever fold a king. And he certainly has some. 6-9 did get there. I think a lot of the gut shots fold on the turn when we bet. We also do lose some 5X, so that leaves him with a lot of 8X and some single pair King X. And I think we get called by the King X. And if he check raises like a boss, fuck it. So, yeah, solid reg. I'm still probably just going to bet and get called. I'm just decide. I don't think we go 1500 though. Probably go 1K, 50%. 1250 sounds good, but yeah, like 1K for me.
What do you think, Tristan?
Man, so just looking at the
Controversy.
options, yeah,
I'm greedy
I
as
mean,
hell.
yeah, just looking at the options, there's not a huge difference to me between 1,000 and 1,500. I think they're
Right.
all good bets. I think all those are good bets here. The real, I guess, kind of putting people in a box here would have been betting like 600 up to like 2,500. I
Agreed.
think that gives us a little more
Of a range.
like options. So I think all these bets that are listed are good, considering where we are in our range and the fact that we believe we have the best hand here. So the second thing I would ask is, well, if we do go with a larger sizing, like 3/4 or for 1,500, are we ever betting too much to get King 9 or King 10 to fold? Maybe. If we bet 1,000 or 1,250, can we get an 8 to call us? You know, those are kind of the exploitive questions I would have in this spot. But, you know, in terms of a theory sense, we could bet any of those sizings and they're all great. So
The EV is going to be very close, right?
yeah, they're all going to, but had it been like, if I'm going to pick between 1,000 and 2,500, I probably would pick 2,500 here. Just because I'd only have to get called a third of the time to make the same money, you know, I guess a little more, 40% of the time to make the same money if someone's going to call, you know, a smaller percentage of the time, if you guys know what I'm saying.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
if someone's going to call 2,500, 1 out of 3 and only call 1,000, 2 out of 3, well,
Go for
you
the
know,
money.
it might make sense to,
Yeah, good point. Very good point.
Marlon says, if he's a solid reg, what are you going to do if we do that and he raises us? I also think that's one. I don't think that's going to happen very often. I think if
He's trying to make us fold the king or better. At
he
that
would have
point.
woke up
People
at
got
some point
hard
if he had a big hand. He didn't 3-bet his pre, so he like never has ace king, and I think king queen even 3-bets a decent percentage of the time. So like we just have the best hand here. Just a heap of
Yeah,
time.
the value range would really be pocket fives or pocket eights to slow play
Mm-hmm.
from the big blind, and then like a hand like king seven or a stubborn 7-8 that just
just nailed it.
there.
Yeah, I got there.
Absolutely. Viv, thank you for the follow. Matt, what did you
I
say
don't
you're
see
doing?
getting
Matt's going
value from
1K.
a solid reg, to be honest. Not said. True. I mean, but he can just have a king that he didn't check raise that he just called down with. Even though I think in this spot, if we run it, I mean, a lot of kings are going to be check raising as well. You know, if we ran this spot versus big blind, he's going to be check raising a good portion of his kings. So it's close.
And as played, you just can't check here. Like checking should not be an option as played. I mean, granted, I don't love the like bigger bet sizing we went with, but you're just too strong. You're never really going to see ace king in your opponent's range, so you're really only worried about getting value owned from king queen. So yeah, I just think this is a mandatory bet here, even if it's a solid reg. I mean, this would be why I would say don't go big, because now the range is defined. And if it's a solid player, they're going to be way more weighted towards strong king X, because you're not going to have a solid player just want to call it 3 streets with like king 4 suited here.
Sure.
So yeah, interesting spot regardless.
All right, 1K for us. What are you doing?
1K for, wait a minute. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure. Biloxi, you said 1K, right? No, Biloxi said 1250.
Oh, no random number generator.
Here it is. 1250.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm 1252. Let's go.
So I gave checking a score
Super
of 1
close.
point, betting 1,000 a score of
1,000
8
was 8.
points, betting 1,250 a score of 10 points,
Clutched
and betting
it.
1,500 a score of 6 points. I think this
Now,
is
if
a
Lexi
great
says anything
river.
good, you guys gotta
If
let
she
me know,
did
'cause
have a
I'm
hand
just
like
watching, I'm not
7-6, she
listening.
might try and hero us. But to me, it kind of looks like she has a worse king. Of course, she could have a hand like king queen, which beats us, but ace king, I believe she's probably going to be 3-betting
I wonder what
pre-flop.
her
So
analysis
king queen
is
is
of
really the only king that we have to worry about. Don't think she has any 2-pair combinations here. I think she would have check raised straight. So I do like the bet. We go 1250. I think this is just a great sizing. And she folds. So she probably had maybe like an 8x hand or a 5x hand or pocket 3s or something. So we picked up the pot there and took it down. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.
It's funny. Yeah, it was really close. 1,000 was 8 points. So definitely not wrong by any stretch of the imagination. And super close, just like Tristan was saying. I wonder how many points the biggest bet was, because it was 1,000 was 8 and yours was 10. I wonder if she gave the other one like a 7 or something, and it was all that close.
Yeah. Somebody said, why not more polar if we are targeting King X? She did specifically say she didn't think opponent had too many 2-pair combos. I mean, of course not.
Yeah, but as Tristan was saying, especially for a solid reg, if we go, crazy fucking ham on the
it
river,
does allow
then
them
you
to start
pressing
making some
out
folds.
king 6, king 4, that stuff's just
Potentially, yeah. I mean, and I think we always lose ace 8.
especially when there's no
as we
flush
go
draws or
really
anything.
big. And I think ace 8 can still hero this size occasionally. At least I'll see it. But yeah, interesting.
Not bad.
But yeah, that
Matt.
was good.
Not bad at all, man. You got dinged at the buzzer, buddy. Don't blame you. Super close.
How does 1250 fold King 6 less often than 1500? I mean, maybe people start seeing a pot size bet, and start assuming ranges are so condensed since we went bet really big as well. We went over like 45, fucking 75 pot. I don't know.
Cool.
But it's live. Maybe she just thinks somebody can just be leveled by that. Cool. Good job from Biloxi. You know the deal. Hit me up. Send me a whisper, and I will get you money sometime this month. I'm kidding. In a week.
Sometime this month. Congratulations.
Cool. Let's change the
Keyword.
Yeah. Let's make it T Wade.
T Wade it is.
Boom, T Wade.
All right, guys. T Wade in the chat for you guys to compete for the next $5 giveaway.
In the meantime, we'll pick another quiz. Let's see.
Man, I think in this quiz it was actually big, medium.
Yeah, I mean 45 on the flop, and then big 600, which was 75% pot, and then she went 75% pot again or something.
Lucifer, better
All right, we
late
got
than
a couple
everybody.
people getting there.
T-Wade's starting to stream through. Let me make sure it's counting because sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, sometimes mine does it as
it's
well.
counting.
Yeah, we got people. All right, Tell you want to pick one?
Sure. Which one's like how high up did you go?
1058 to 1062 or new.
Cool.
1055.
So let's do 1062. Let's hang with Evan.
Yeah, we haven't kicked it with Evan in a minute. All right, cool. We're gonna do 1062.
I was talking.
We'll give you guys
Spoiler
another.
alert, he's gonna come back soon. He just moved, so he's got to get his shit together. But he's coming back soon.
Hey, dude, we got a lot of guests coming up in the next few weeks. It's gonna be awesome, man. All right, cool. I'm ready to roll it.
Yeah, we could roll 2. Let's do it.
Ooh, wait a minute. From Boxy says just roll it for the next Mafia winner to get $10. Damn, that's very generous. All right, so if you're in the Mafia and you win today, you will get $10 to the next person to win, and that might be Stinky.
If you had to guess on my stream who just won the giveaway, who would you guess?
Fucking Beats, dude.
Oh no, it's Bruce. You were close.
It's Bruce. Bruce wins it every time.
He wins every other week.
Let's go, Stinky. You got a chance for $10 if you win in my stream.
It's cash,
Gotta
Bruce.
win one eventually.
We're gonna put you on your take you out of your comfort zone.
Stinky, control your inner spaz, focus, and let's win the pot. Okay, you just got to win one pot. You won one pot plenty of times. All right, 1-3, no limit, your specialty, my dude.
There you go. 1062. Let's play it.
Hello, everyone. Evan Jarvis here for PokerCoaching.com. Today we are reviewing a 1-3 no limit hold'em cash game hand that I played at Casino Niagara. In this spot, we have great reads on majority of the table, and we also have a pretty great hand, Ace-5 of diamonds in the big blind. You'll notice 2 of the players are labeled poster, poster 1 and poster 2. That is because they posted on this hand, putting some dead money in the mix. Let's get into the action. Let's get stacked. We have a limp from under the gun. We have a raise from Leo Master, who you'll remember from previous quizzes, OG Gripster. Learned how to play from my YouTube videos. Pretty sweet and pretty cool. And his goal for the session is to stack me. Poster 1 folds, poster 2 folds. And it comes around to us in the big blind. What should you do? What should you do? We're 150 big blinds deep. Ace-5 of diamonds facing a full-size raise. Should you fold, call, 3-bet to 50, or 3-bet to 70?
Monkey says, "Isn't Evan exploitation master?" I mean, he definitely exploits. We all do.
He's
but I would say that you're probably thinking about Assassinato, who's the exploitation master, and goes deep.
Yes.
Did you hear the explanation, Tristan, or were you playing without sound?
No, I didn't hear it.
Oh, cool. So basically, cash game table. This Leo Master guy is a student of Evan's, and his whole sole purpose is to stack Evan. Is basically what he said.
Yeah. So the guy, yeah. And
so there's that little bit of dynamic here.
Yep. Outside of that, there's nothing else really noteworthy in the text. Yeah.
Cool. Monkey May just folding, surf dot calling. 3-bet his ass, says Matt, going fitty.
Affleck says fold pre. Matt Affleck in here. What's up, buddy? Good morning. 137x pre. Fold pre, please. True, dude. True. Out of position. Fuck it. Fold. I don't think we need to raise over that pot-sized option. Facing this size, just folding. Snot goes 70 because he's a boss. Skybox is calling. It's getting wild out here in the streets. I love it.
Treatment says, Assassinato stacked me recently. Made it look easy. He'll do that. He's dangerous.
Yeah, he's a bad man. Yeah.
Just calling with a good flopping hand, says Jelly. Kept folding. Bruce says, token says call. So Bruce is calling.
So Mendo's calling.
There's a nice little mix. There's some folds in here too.
Yeah, there's some mix. Well, Affleck came in and started preaching fold. Then all of a sudden, the congregation started folding. But before that, we only see one fold.
So now there's a leveling. Was Matt trolling or not? Is he in your head, guys?
Yeah, Matt's actually going 70. Yeah, every time. Old Affleck, all in.
What are you doing here, Sixes?
I mean, honestly, this is bad to say, but it depends on a lot of factors in cash. I mean, for me, it's going to be if I think this guy is just how he's been playing, if he's been very loose, is he drinking? Like, is he just folding to 3-bets? Is he making this size all the time? With no information, I'm just going to be folding a lot. But, I don't mind mixing it up and playing kind of aggressive. I think this guy is just doing this ISO with his entire range every single time because it's 4 chips or something like that. I don't mind battling a little bit, but yeah, mostly folding and occasionally mixing it up. And if I do raise, it's 70.
Is the size too the reason why you're folding? Because he went crazy. Is it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's
under the gun limp too. It's an ISO.
But the thing is, you know what? I mean, to be fair, like when I do play 1-3, the fucking average open size sometimes at nights is just 15.
Right.
People are just throwing in 3 chips. So this wouldn't be too out of the ordinary. Hence the reason why I would occasionally mix it up, especially if I think a guy is out of line.
Cool.
For me.
Tristan, what do you think? I see you nodding.
Yeah,
and then I saw you take a stutter step.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be hard for me to fold a suited ace in the big blind to a single raise most of the time, to be honest. But there are a few factors here that might come into consideration. First, you got the under the gun player who limped. So what kind of player is this? Are they likely just a limp call to kind of solidify my pot odds here? If I know I can put in 18 more and they're going to put in 18 more the majority of the time, then I think that gives me a good price overall.
Good point.
And then the second thing is, it's a really big raise here, a 7x. So that deters me from wanting to play as much. But when you have these wheel suited aces and you can draw to the nuts multiple ways, Six has said a good point. It's kind of player dependent. If you're up against someone whose ranges are going to be a little more wide, or you're up against someone who's going to play more straightforward, then those would probably have me enter the pot here. So yeah, I don't love 3-betting this. This would be a great 3-bet spot, don't get me wrong, but with the under the gun limp and then this guy's huge sizing, I think we are now like forced to play a bloated pot out of position. Whereas if this was a normal isolation of like 12 or 15, then you could 3-bet to 55 or 60, where here we might have to 3-bet to 80 or 85 to get some kind of pressure on the isolator. So overall, I think I'm going to be calling here more than not than any other option.
I love it. That's a very good point, especially if you think this guy is. We see so many of these guys playing 1-3. They limp. They see two people call, and they're just calling their entire range no matter what. They're just going to throw the money in. They're never going to raise unless they have aces or kings.
And if that's what he's doing here, then we get a really good price here.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's always got at least 30% equity no matter what.
Yeah, I love that. Damn good point. Hell yeah, guys. Let's see. What is everybody else doing? Bruce is calling, and Stinky was folding. Yeah, Stinky's folding. Yeah, he said fuck it, fold a minute ago.
Morris says, I'm never folding here in cash game. Damn sure not with 150 bigs. Jelly retorts, you'd be sleeping by now anyways. Wins. Marlon's always falling asleep in his chair.
I'll get back to that, Snoss.
All right. We're calling. You're folding. Let's see what happens.
Yep, Stinky's folding. Let's do it. Boom.
Now, don't let the title confuse you or deceive you.
Well played.
Just because we have the perfect semi-bluffing hand does not mean we have the perfect semi-bluffing spot.
You guys will have to give me some of the
If we were in position for this hand,
listen, bro,
with this hand, I would say this is a very high frequency 3-bet one. We're going to want to be 3-betting with a lot. We have a blocker to our opponent having ace king, ace queen, and aces. We have 30% equity against pocket pairs. We can play very aggressively when we flop a flush draw, and we have a very disguised hand as well. This is one of the perfect candidates for 3-bet semi-bluffing, but the situation has to be right. We have a raise who's isolating some posters. That's a good sign, but we are out of position for the hand, and we are also deep stacked. If we were in position and deep stacked, it makes the spot much better, but remember, positional advantage and disadvantage are amplified by the depth of stack. So the fact that we are 150 big blinds deep instead of 100 big blinds deep means we are at a larger positional disadvantage because of it. And therefore, inflating the pot from out of position is a high risk, high volatility play. And given that we're up against a very solid player and also one who is going to call the 3-bets wide because he wants to stack us, we probably want to have more value hands when we're 3-betting and fewer bluffs. That being said, if you do want to go with a 3-bet here, larger sizing is more likely to get the job done. We may be able to fold out the medium part of Leo Master's range by going to 70, but we won't fold out any of it by going to 50. So that's why 70 is a better choice than 50, but overall, I think that the best play in this spot is just to fold our hand. Calling's okay too. It invites the under the gun player in. I just felt that we could wait for a better spot than this one to mix it up with Leo Master, deep stacked out of position. Anyway, this has been Evan Jarvis for PokerCoaching.com. Hope you enjoyed the quiz. Hope you learned a thing or two, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.
He tricked us. Sixes. You want to give the summary for Tristan?
Oh, whoa. Yeah, no, he was essentially saying, yes, all the advantages to 3-betting here. It looks like the perfect squeeze pot, but he was just saying essentially the positional disadvantage of actually squeezing here. We know we're going to be playing this pot out of position a lot, having a bloated pot. He said he really did like the option to call, probably better than squeeze, especially given the dynamic. And that, yeah, folding's probably just
He
the
said he
best,
also
you know,
thought he
find
had
those
less
spots.
fold equity because this guy was 1 good, 2 had positional advantage, and 3 was specifically trying to stack him.
Yeah,
And
like
since
there's
he
just too much
had
against
no
him.
fold equity because this guy wanted to stack him, he decided to pass.
Yeah, like if we ignore the fact that we probably don't even have ever having fold equity when we make this squeeze, because he's just never going to fold to us, probably makes it an easier fold. I mean, not squeeze, or at least a call or a fold, probably better than squeeze. So, yep.
This was a one shot deal too. It was
Stinky
It was all or
beat
nothing.
that
Win or
shit.
go home.
Yeah, and Stinky won $10 from that because Biloxi
Because of the
rolled it
bonus.
over, and he was just saying, "Man, I'm going to win one of these one day," and then binks off enough
the
for
double.
2. Congrats, my dude. I got you. Make sure to send me that whisper. Yeah, that was very interesting. We rarely see quizzes like this.
Yep.
Where it's just, we rarely see that. And that's awesome, and it teaches you something there. Like, we should still be making folds. Like,
You just want to leave T-Wade as the name since that was
let's leave the giveaway if you want to get in this round. T-Wade.
T-Wade in the chat, guys, for you guys to compete for the next $5 quiz.
Oh, damn, from Biloxi, gifting a sub as well. Much love, my dude. Really appreciate that support. Means a lot. Stinky banking it, coming through for the Mafia. That's what's up, my dude. Get back in there, T-Wade. Affleck's in there. Ruh-roh, Shaggy.
Oh.
Ruh-roh.
Watch out.
I want to win.
Should we do an Affleck quiz in his honor?
Yes. He's got this newer one, 1061, the
when I said
3.5.
it.
Well, it's going to be boring for him because...
I don't know. He biffed it when he was here.
Yeah, he did. That was the funniest shit of all. I love how you bring that up every time.
I think it's hysterical. Matt knows how much I love him. The guy's a killer of killers. There's no question.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we'll do 1061. Why not? Make it interesting. It'd be fun. But yeah, we'll give it another 30 seconds or so, or 10 seconds or so before we roll it. We got bots in the chat. Yes, I want to buy followers. Please get out of here.
What?
No bots coming in the chat.
God, that doesn't happen. That happens so infrequently now.
Oh, dude, it happens all the time.
You're more famous.
All right, let's roll it. You ready?
Yeah, let's roll it. Cool. I'm down.
Yep.
I'm just kind of letting it happen here. Uh-oh. It's I was saying before, it's like Gil and Bruce are the only ones who win in my stream.
Yeah.
You're up against Gil.
And you got, well. Big town round.
Oh, that's a good one too. My Scottish brother. This guy shows up at 3 a.m. Scotland time to watch me stream on the Global Channel. The guy's a savage. He's a savage. All right, Gil, I know you're out there. I don't need to check. Want to play the quiz?
Big Town Brown, you out there. We got to make sure.
He's out there too. He's a major reg.
Oh, yeah. Yo. If he's not, by the time the first answer, we'll just redraw. So listen up. If he's not here, I will redraw that shit after we listen to the first segment. Let's do it.
All right, in this hand we have Pocket Jacks in the cutoff. This is day 1B. We're playing 40,000 chips at 100, 200. Then fold to a competent hijack who makes it 500. Should we fold, call, re-raise to 1,500, or re-raise to 2,000?
Oh, Matt, I thought this was going to be cut off, open, button flat.
I was getting
so ready,
excited.
Matt. I was so ready. We've been studying this position with Matt for like 3 weeks straight. I know you're here, Gil. You're always here, buddy.
Ruh-roh, he's not on the chat list. We got to re-roll it. Big Town Brown not here. Nope.
I wonder if we should call for help. He's always here.
Always. J.M. Curley with the raid. Really appreciate that, buddy.
Raid.
We're going to re-roll it real quick.
Cool. In the meantime, we got Kept going 15. We got Beats going 15. We got Matt going 2K.
I'm excited about this one. Chops in the house.
There you go. Gil's going 2K. Our main man of the hour.
Yes.
Jelly is going
Chops,
2K.
Let's go, my dude. Fucking beast. Curly, really appreciate that raid. Hell yeah, buddy. Young Poker Pro. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Welcome to the steady stream, everybody who's new. Feel free to enter these heads up competition. I don't know, like these giveaways. We're giving away some prizes. All you got to do is be here, be active, and feel free to chat, bro. Never stop dreaming. What's up? But I'm sorry. Let's go back to the quiz. We have Matt here in the cutoff, facing a hijack open. 3-betting, calling, what size, who's folding?
I don't see any folds, but I see a mix. I see Matt debating calling and then a bunch of 2Ks.
Matt folded his own quiz. He just folded.
I was talking about iHawks, Matt. I should have clarified.
Okay.
And a bunch of 2Ks.
1,800. Albatross 15. Drinning's going 2K. The Kiyats is going 15.
Lucifer brings up a good point. He said, I thought there were only 3 ways to play jacks. Why are there 4 options? That's funny. If you know the little adage about jacks. 3 ways to play jacks, and they're all wrong.
Drinning says 200 big blinds, 4X his ass, Seabass.
Marlon's trying to get a read on Tristan. He says the look on Tristan's face says he looks like he's flatting. He's trying to get live tails on you, Tristan.
Yeah, he's working on his live tails game.
Hey, good luck.
Taylor likes 2K because of loose play in the small blind. Gil is going 2K. Is your guy up? We ready? We're going. There's a lot of 2Ks in my team.
DB Chops 1,500. What do you like here, Toe? I mean,
I would 3-bet.
Pretty close.
1,500 seems fine. 2K seems a little bit too much. 1,500 seems okay. If I was going to size up, it'd be like kind of what Kep was saying in my chat, like 1,750 would be the kind of the top end.
Yeah, nowadays I'm like 3.5x. He is in later position, which his range is going to be wider, where I think we don't need to start going as large as relative when he's in early position. We win a 3-bet. I think we do go a bit larger. So maybe just going 1,500. I mean, 2K is probably fine as well.
The only one little asterisk I would say to calling here is that there's the very loose weak player in the small blind. And I don't know if that means loose weak, meaning loose passive or loose active. You might, if the guy's going to 3-bet you a lot, you could flat here hoping that they squeeze, I guess. There's that one asterisk, but I think most of the time I'm 3-betting.
What do you think, Tristan?
Yeah, definitely a spot where you have to 3-bet. I think if you just flat call here,
take it 5 ways.
You're just putting yourself in a tough spot without thinning any ranges of the people behind you. You have one person who has position, so you definitely don't want to flat call here. And jacks is hard to play post flop, so you really want to play against one person. In terms of sizing, I think the minimum you want to be here is 3x. I think that's too small, though. I'm like you guys, I would be at least 3.5x. Yep. So I like the option of 2,000 the best because you're 200 big blinds deep. You're early in a tournament. People don't like to fold. People aren't going to fold for another 1,000 if you 3x it here. So you definitely want to try to thin some of the like dog shit hands that might just call a 3-bet here, like the ace-3 suiteds, which are good hands. Don't get me wrong. I say dog shit, but I guess someone might peel like 8-6 suited or like 9-6 suited if you make it too small, or if you go bigger, they have to at least think about it. But when you're this deep and you have a really good hand, you just want to start putting in money now. So 2,000, no doubt.
Yeah, I like it. That's a very good point. Like he's going to call for the extra 500 more, and we're deep as hell, so let's just size up. Okay. And Chops is going 1,500. What did
Gil's going
what did Gil do?
Gil's going Team Wade.
Matt said 2K. I'm saying I don't remember these though, for whatever it's worth. So let's see. All right, let's do it.
I really like three betting for value. It's versus a hijack, so it's starting to get to a wider range. We're in the cutoff. We want to clear out the buttons so that we have position, and we're really deep, 200 big blinds, where people flat these types of hands because they don't want to get it all in. But if we make it 2,000 here and then he makes it 5,000 or 6,000, he 4-bets us. We're deep enough that we can still call. So we're not in any worries about having to fold our hand, and we're scared to get blown off our equity. Like if we had 50 big blinds, or 80 big blinds, maybe we consider, flatting in some situations there. So definitely like 3-betting because of how deep we are. I like going bigger. So I think 2,000 4x people call too much, so I like to exploit them and 3-bet larger. And the small blind, who's very loose and weak, calls, and the hijack calls. Flop comes King 10-6 rainbow. 2 checks to us. Should we check? Bet 1,500, bet 2,500, or bet 4,000.
Got awkward. Betting in the back seat. What are you doing? What are you guys doing out there in the chat?
Station changers answer to 2K right after I feel you. Let's go.
See my
my
first
I
couple
like
of
a
checks
small
streaming
bet
through.
here. I check back, but to be fair, I know that is a leak of mine. 2,500 Stinky says Skybucks is. Ooh, we're already seeing a different array of options. Some checks, some bets. 2.5K here as well.
Mostly checking. Gil's checking. We got a few bets.
2.5K.
We got a bet from Marlon, and Julia's betting as well.
Yeah,
So broke
Chops
betting.
here is going 2.5K. What's Gil doing?
Gil's checking. But there is a mix here. There's a decent mix of 2.5 and
Bet
in
large
here as well.
when we have to bet less frequently, Hero Call Poker says. So you want to go large here because you're not going to be betting that often. So what size you going, 4K? Matt says, I remember this hand now, so I'll withhold my answers.
No spoilers.
3-bet, C-bets to 2.5K. Drenning says, so look at this. All kind of options. A lot of bet 2.5K here. I know what I'm doing here. I know what I'm doing.
Did you guy answer?
He's a small boy. Yeah, he did. Chops is going 2.5K.
What are you doing?
Checking.
You're so sure.
Check.
Snapchat. Look at that.
Check. Yeah, look at me.
You couldn't check fast enough.
Check.
Yeah, I think I'm checking multiple ways too. It's awkward. They're going to check to the aggressor. When we get called, we get a little lost on turns. So checking seems standard to me. Tristan, what do you think?
I'm with you guys here. I think multi-way, you got to be a little more cautious. And these type of hands like jacks and queens want to be checking on this board a lot when there's an overcard. And again, we're in a 3-bet pot, so ranges are going to be a little more tight. And sure, if we bet here, I think a small bet would be better. But really, what are we hoping to get called by? Sure, a 10 can call us, but hands like ace, queen, queen, jack, whatever, are still going to call. So you're not like getting just hands that have no equity to call you. So this is a spot you don't want to be betting that much. And if you did bet big, that's also not a good thing here because you're really only getting called by hands that have decent equity against you.
Better to call and worse to fold.
Yep. Zep says trying to fold a 10, bet small, but we don't really want to fold a 10, Zep, right? Like we're beating a 10.
Yeah, we're beating a 10. So what's the point in betting if we can just check and maybe a 10 thinks they're good and we can pot control a little bit?
And how many streets of value do you have with your hand, like right now, guys? You don't even, maybe none, and people want to bet and almost turn it into a bluff. I mean, there's certainly some King X symmetry hands he just calls here. Absolutely. He still has King Queen in his range. King 10 suited, weird, loose, weak player can flat ace king off and not be scared to raise. 10 sixes are both in their range. Queen jack suited that aren't folding. I don't know. So I'm just checking.
Cool.
If this is like a King 8-6 board or something like that, then I think it changes a lot. But the King 10 has so many combos of hands that have equity going forward.
Yep.
Totally.
All right. Yep. We're gonna bet 2.5K because that's what Chops is doing. But let's see what Matt thinks about this spot. Let's do it.
I think with our hand, we have a pretty easy check here. Not a lot of good things are going to happen here if we bet. It's very unlikely that two players are going to fold this flop. If it was a heads-up pot, maybe we bet here to fold out. I don't hate a bet. If I'm going to bet here, I like the 2,500 sizing. There's a lot of gut shots and straight draws. We can fold out some ace highs from one of the players, but it's very rare that we're going to get two folds here. I prefer checking with our hand. I'd rather bet with a 10 because at least with a 10 we have 5 outs versus the jacks just kind of have the 2 outs to a jack. And even if we hit a jack, it brings in a couple of straight draws that are possible for both players. And so we'd like to not have a huge pot in case that happens. So I like checking here, which we do. Turn is a 5 of hearts, and this player leads for 3K. The hijack calls. Should we fold, call, or raise to 10,000?
Awkward.
Benny, thank you for those 200 biddies, my dude. And
Nice.
Messi, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that support, guys. I'm butchering it for you, Matt Affleck. Chops. You're in front of poker loyalty here. Botching
All
his
good, Matt.
quiz.
We know how we
No, it
we know how it goes, Matt. We know how it is.
Yeah,
I'm the
that's
same
so
way.
funny. No, I'm kidding, my dude. You hijack calls. Skybuck says call. I'm nervous. Okay.
Jelly, I think your range is there is totally right. I think that is true. They check call with those king X hands. Chip Critic just folding, Beats calling, Surf Dog calling, Dennis calling. Good bluff catcher. Price is right, he says.
Heads up, I call. Multi-way, I fold. Biloxi says easy calls. Benny says fold all day. Damn, people got snap calls and easy call.
Gil says
snap fold and easy call.
Gil from Scotland says fold and go hunt a haggis.
Go hunt a haggis.
Gil's out of here. Since the fish bet, I'm going to peel one for a small bet.
When it goes bet call, I guess we just fold, Chop says. So, Chops, you folding?
There's only a couple of folds in my chat, but a bunch of calls.
Whew. Pretty sure I think I
Fib folding.
Price way too good to fold, huh? It's never easy.
John says, I'll be under up their hand, have to call.
Competent hijack should have a relatively strong range. Chops. So you folding? Gil folding?
Gil is folding. He went haggis hunting. I gotta Google what the hell a haggis is, but he went hunting them.
Stinky says, fold that shit, man. So I'll fold. Okay, yep. They're both folding.
Cool.
What are you thinking?
God, it's really awkward. Loose weak player. God, he's gonna bet here with his tens, I think, a lot, and maybe mistakenly so. Competent player could still have some kings. This is really tough. Really tough. I actually find myself probably floating this a decent amount with the loose weak player betting here. But I am definitely conflicted. Never raising.
Yeah, I'm snap folding.
Yeah, I could definitely see
I'm out. I mean, how likely is it that neither one of these players have a king, and then we have to get to the river, and then neither one of them bet again, and neither one has to have a king. It feels like. Yeah,
and then you have to ask yourself: is a very loose weak player going to bet into two players?
Am I going to be able to call another bet? And there's two players in the pot, and somebody get me out. I don't know. Just get me out. Just folding.
You running for your life, Tristan?
This is a tough spot.
You scared?
This dude could be so loose.
Yeah, with a very loose weak player betting
tough,
half pot here, it's Skybucks and Crazy Sixes chat says a good thing. We're getting a really good price here. We can put in 3K into a pot that's going to be 15K. So I think for that reason, it's kind of hard to fold here. Since there could be some maybe worse hands in the competent players range, like an ace queen or a 10x. I think it's going to be hard to fold here. And the fact that we can maybe turn our hand into a bluff on certain rivers, like a queen or an ace, I think gives us some credence to play in position here.
So if both players check back an ace river, us blocking like queen, jack, and stuff a lot, them likely always betting the nuts, you probably can likely turn our hand into a block. That's sexy as fuck. I like that.
Especially if, you know,
I
like
like that.
Matt's
That's a very good point.
He can maybe fire a couple bullets into an event like this where other people are going to have a hard time calling it off if they find themselves in a tough spot early on.
Yeah, if you're Matt and you're too rich to care, rebuy table 6. Put these guys to the test.
Damn, yeah. I mean, now I'm sick to my stomach because I think that's really good. I mean, it's not like the ace is bad for us, and if they ever check it, like we can certainly just turn our hand into a bluff and likely get a lot of folds. It's just
you can just pile.
You could like shove 2 times pot.
Yeah, just pile.
And we're getting a good enough
the
price
bin.
here. I need to get better. Yeah, I like it. We are folding because Knit Nation rise up. So
let's see what Matt does.
All right, we're folding.
He liked it.
I like folding in this spot, and I think people are way too loose calling, over calling in multi-way pots. First, our hand only has 2 outs to improve, and it's not
the first line
here
is
clean.
I like folding this spot. I think
If this was
people
a
are way
heads-up
too
spot
loose.
against this very loose weak player, I would for sure I would call his bet for sure. But the hijack's a competent player, and he knows we have a strong range behind him. Yeah, we check the flop, but we can still have hands like queens and jacks. We could still have like a king, queen, king, jack that we checked back, possibly. And so he has to be wary of us, so he can't call too wide. It's probably a king. And our hand really can't face any river action anyways. And so, again, like I'd rather call with ace-10 here because at least we have 5 outs to improve versus only 2. And so I think I like laying this hand down, which what we do. And the hand goes check, check. And the very loose player showed pocket 7s, which is a really ambitious bet on the turn. And then the hijack showed king, queen. I think he missed a very easy value bet on the river.
Yeah,
but
we made a good fold.
Check back in position. Yeah,
check back position. The river's weird.
Yeah.
Cool. Likes the fold. Gil.
Well,
swish.
Gil, switch that shit.
Swish. Came through.
We got a 22.
Came through for the army.
We did get a 10 though. That's all right. DB, that's all right, my dude. Mad respect. We'll get him next time, champ.
You don't get to shut us out this week. Gil puts Team Toe on the board.
You won the first one.
No, I didn't.
You? No, I won the first one. Yeah, shit, you're right. Yeah. All right, cool. Fun shit. We definitely have time for another one since we've had Evans that was super quick, you know, so we got time for more. Good game, Gil. Good job, buddy. Much respect. So we got it right. Fold. Don't be too loose. You hear that, Tristan? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Because I got to listen a little bit. I got to listen to Matt's explanation a little bit. And the fact that we have the small blind betting 2 7s kind of makes me feel like this makes it more of a call. Because if that guy's in a bet that wide, then the hijack, who is a competent player and might realize that, should then be calling in this spot with a 10x all the time. And then maybe even some ace queens, some ace jacks, although that's a little loose. I think ace queen's probably on the border there for ace highs. But either way, yeah, to be results oriented, I think this spot's a lot closer than, you know, it looks at face value.
Yeah. Matt says he has the hijack doesn't have any offsuit 10x in their range. And we're blocking some of the jack X, of course. So it just really condenses his range. But at the same time, I mean, if he has all of his ace queens and maybe some other floats.
There could be a lot of suited 10x though. There could be 10-8 suited, 10-9 suited. You know, only 2 combos.
Yeah, he calls it true.
Suited, fine. But then you have queen 10 suited, king 10 suited, which we probably don't see king 10 suited here because it's raising the turn or something.
Ace 10 suited.
Yeah, so ace 10 suited's in there. So it's
close. Yeah,
it's close overall. I think
you make it better. Yeah, because if that guy, we just know he never has a king and he's firing out, we're getting him every damn good prize. So yeah. Good shit. That was a very interesting hand.
Yeah, that was a tough spot.
All learned something, man. That was a cool hand. I think we all thank you, Matt. Good ass quiz, my dude. Poker and Pajama, thank you for those biddies, and B, thank you for that follow. Let's you want to change up the
let's change the password so that
get new people in here.
Yeah.
Keyword is gonna make it something really easy. Let's just make it PC.
PC?
Just PC.
Simple as it gets. PC in the chat, guys, for you to compete.
PC in the chat.
For $5. If you're just joining us, this is pokercoaching.com study session stream, PC, which I'll do so it doesn't confuse you. In my chat and in Six's chat. where you can get a
It's
link
just
to sign up
TCMI.
for free 20 free quizzes. Homework assignments, big blind charts for 100 lines or more, potential staking opportunities when poker is less weird. You can sign up for premiums, get over 1,000 quizzes, homework assignments, webinars, get in front of these guys, and get better. There's a ton of content. Make sure you're checking that out. Sign it up for free because you're just getting free content that's good. And if you miss out on that, then it's on you.
Uh-oh. You know what time it is? You know what time
I
it is,
confused
right?
my chat too. PC in the chat, no exclamation point, guys. No exclamation
You
point.
timed out Nightbot because you just put the command in too many times.
I put the command in, so then everyone else started putting the command in because it was too close. There you guys go. You figured it out.
It's time to have Tristan do one of his own.
Uh-oh.
You know what we should do?
The
Let's
pressure.
go back a little bit. So
Yeah, we
his
can't
new
do the
stuff-
top one because he probably submitted that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we got to go back a little bit and put him on the spot.
1048 look good?
1048? Is that new enough for him? Let me see.
You want to go back for? Uh-oh.
No, we ain't going. Dude, I went back
You
to
don't
the
want to go back so
400s
far.
one
Like
week.
the game has
dude.
changed. You don't want to go back
It
to like
literally
pre-Black
that
Friday.
literally happens for sure.
1040.
How about 1040?
That's plenty.
I think I did that one.
Did you?
No, we have not. 5-6 of diamonds in cash. 2-5. The dream.
Ooh.
He says, "Ooh."
Poker coaching.
I like it. Oh, he's listening to it. He's checking his own shit out.
He's cheating.
He's cheating, guys. He kind of cheating.
No.
All right, cool. Ready to run it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Our man of the hour is Julius. You're up, buddy. Yeah, all the legends
Pot
today.
Snatcher. What's
All
up,
the
my
legends
dude?
today.
Hell yeah. Pot Snatcher. What's up, buddy? If you don't know what's up, just ask. Otherwise, I'm expecting you to win. I'm expecting you to crush a part of the mafia. Let's go, my dude.
All right, let's play it.
10, 40, 5-6 of diamonds, 200 bigs deep. Let's get nasty.
Ready to go.
Hey there, pokercoaching.com members. Tristan Wade with a quiz from a 2-5 no limit hold'em cash game. So we have a limper under the gun +1. A low jack is an unknown pro who raises 5x, and we are here with 5-6 suited on the hijack. What should you do? Should you fold? Should you call? Or should you raise to 85?
All right, guys.
Let's do it here, fam.
Limping and ISO. What's the plan? Call for Bruce
Skybucks
right out the
not
gate.
folded. Bruce is calling.
I got a call and a fold immediately. Right in the chat. We have controversy right out the gate.
He said, "You guys are making me look like a nit."
Picked a good quiz.
Volume was a bit low. What do I need to do to claim? You got to win this quiz, my dude. If you don't know what's up, if you are fairly new, you're pretty much in a little competition where you just got to play this poker hand to the best of your ability, given these options on what you think is best. If you outscore the competitor in Toe's chat, you win $5 that I can ship you PayPal or ACR. So yeah, just be active. Let us know what you're going to do here. And if you can do it sooner than later, that'd be great.
Chili. Because I remember this hand live. I was on Wade's right. It's like, how much at this table?
Gotcha. Hell
If
yeah.
he's an
my dude.
unknown, how do we know he's a pro? I don't know. Maybe he was wearing a patch or something. Had one of those old like full tilt jerseys.
Like a 3-bet better than the call DG. Full sounds so boring.
There's a big mix between call and fold.
Yeah, I'm seeing folds. I'm seeing some calls. I think I know how I'd approach this situation.
Julius, what are you doing?
here, Pop?
I don't think I see you in here. Did I miss you? Let me check. No. Julius, you're up. Quit stalling.
All right. Pot Snatcher is folding.
Call. Julius is calling.
Julius is calling.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I mean, I think I'm only 3-betting or folding. I don't think I really have a flat in this spot too often. I'd probably lean fold, but kind of the same dynamics from before kind of apply here. But this time we're in position. I don't mind mixing it up. You know, sometimes probably choose something a little bit better, but I probably tend to just fold these spots a lot. Or if I feel like getting nasty, you know, I'm definitely going 85. And it's probably, I don't know, 10-15% of the time, depending on how this player is playing and the players behind.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm a little out of my comfort zone because I play like the least cash of almost anyone ever. But I tend to fold here too, just generally speaking. Although if we called and play a hand,
Well, it's cool because
okay.
we have nice coverage when we do 3-bet. Like, we're going to have, like, a lot of the strongest. We keep our range very strong. Like, if it comes ace X, king X, we're still going to have some of those hands. And if it comes some of the low boards, we're going to have very nice coverage when we use a hand like this, which is pretty cool. And this pro is probably going to give us credit and range us accordingly. So, if we mix this in, I don't think it's terrible.
This is my quiz, but I'll comment. Folding is probably the common best play here, just given your table position. I think if you're the hijack or the button, calling becomes much more of a thing here. But I think, folding is probably like the correct quote unquote play. But I think in like softer cash games, my strategies are to play a lot of hands.
You're just out there to own souls.
So, I'm out there to get in pots. I'm out there to set your life up. If you're a pro on my right, like, we're going to be battling. So that's probably going to skew the answer here. And hopefully I explain that if I say, but I like call. I think raising is also another option. But with this specific hand, without having like a blocker, I think you'd rather have like an ace 5 suited. I think these type of hands would rather just flat call and play in position than 3-bet most of the time.
See, I don't play a lot of cash, and I'm just going to be like using kind of more of a tournament, like wanting to 3-bet and define ranges be very strong, where it just plays well enough to just call. You're going to get calls behind it. Plays multi-way, plays very well. So I get it.
Yeah.
Yep. We are folding because that's what Pot Snatch is doing.
I'm pretty sure Julius called. He's on Team Wade.
Yep. All right, cool. Let's do it.
So if you picked call, I think that's the best option here. I also wouldn't be mad if you folded, because we do have 2 players in position behind us. So this can be a little dicey sometimes. Or if you did decide to raise, that is also a viable option. So I give all those options merit, although I think calling in these spots with hopefully position, if you're on the cutoff or button, I think it's a clear call. But the hijack gets a little tricky. But playing deep stack cash game, I think you should be playing hands like this, especially if you have some looser players that come into the pot. So that's my option, is call. And we do call. The dealer also calls, and the limper calls. So we're 4 ways to the flop. The flop comes 10-3-3 with 2 diamonds. First player checks. The unknown pro bets 45, which is about half the pot. And what should we do now? We have flopped a flush draw. Should we fold, call, or raise to 150?
Are you not listening to yourself here either, Tristan?
I am on very low volume.
I was going to say, you almost like reiterated everything you said today. So you're on your game.
All right, good.
He didn't come here to fold. It's pretty much
Tristan threw away his fold button years ago. Says beats.
I didn't sit in this game. Drive up to the casino to fold 5-6 of diamonds.
Not
some
today.
Unknown pro. Let's battle, buddy.
Not in position. Come on.
We got a few calls and a bunch of 150s. It's pretty mixed.
Nobody's calling. What are we doing here, boys? Don't be shook.
Devon calling.
Pot Snatcher snap. Already folded Skybucks. You're allowed to make a decision now that we're here, buddy. It's
Julius
okay.
calling.
I'll hold your hand. Stationed. Yep. Stations. Folded. Chase her down, brother.
Playing Kawhi and calling, says Marlon.
Did your guy go?
Oh, yeah, we're calling.
Okay, yeah, we're calling as well. Damn, Skybucks, you're raising to 150? Sheesh.
Savage. There's a decent amount of 150s in my chat.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm always calling here because I don't want to raise to 150 and then have someone come over the top or still multi-way. There's a lot of action to be out there. I really want to try and realize my equity. And so, yeah, calling seems good.
I mean, he's raising multi-way into this board. Players behind still have nut flush draws they can have in their range. I mean, I don't know. It's a loose guy. He can have some 3x. Like, he still has overpair in his range. Don't like raising at all. I think we want to just call and try to realize our equity rather than us raising and crazy shit. Shit can get out of hand real quick. So yeah, I'm just going to be calling here. For
I like
sure.
what you said. Sixes. If
You
we
pass.
raise here, might get called by like king queen of diamonds, queen jack of diamonds,
Yeah, it's
ace jack of diamonds. It's just a shitty equity spot. You shouldn't really be raising here.
it's almost like reverse
especially
implied
for-
odds, right? Like it's just like the low jack's going to still have overpair, and these guys can have better flush draws. It's like,
Yeah, get reverse implied odds, and we get pushed off our equity when we raise and they come over the top. It's like a double whammy shitty situation.
It looks like a big flop because it's like, oh, we have 5-6 suited and we flop the
Obviously.
flush draw. Like we're there, but no, we're really not. This is like a decent spot for us considering we're four ways. Like this guy betting into three people with two being out of position is going to have something.
Yeah,
Totally.
if a 10 raises behind us from Biloxi to Vegas, I think it's a massive mistake by that player. I mean, I don't know. Like this
Well,
player.
they're betting a call for sure. If you have like Jack 10 and then
Yeah, I mean,
put a bunch
it's
of chips in
just.
the pot.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty bad. You know.
I don't think we're going to
it'd
see
be
too
close.
many 10x raise on this board texture either because like Sixes said, the original isolator has all these overpairs in his range. So I just don't think this is a spot where most people are going to feel that confident, especially since the pot will now be like $200 already. I don't think someone's just going to have like ace 10 and be like pumped to just put it
Below it.
No, it's so sick. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
We're calling.
Wait a minute. We were Oh yeah, we were calling as well.
Cool. Let's find out.
All right.
So obviously we haven't come this far to fold.
Nope.
Raising to 150 would be a little tricky here. I don't think that's a good play. We can't really credibly represent a 3, and we are going to be dominated by some flush draws. Also, there are 2 players left to act behind us, so I think calling is the only option here. And luckily, we are heads up going to the turn, and we have position, so those are like 2 great things that we wanted to see happen here. The turn card comes as 7 of diamonds, gives us a straight flush draw too, which is kind of cool. And the unknown pro bets 90 into a pot of about 200. So what should we do now? Should we fold? I shouldn't even talk about that option. Should we call or should we raise to 250?
Who's folding?
He gave you a teaser. He said he's never folding here, guys. So that one's off the table. Fun fact, I
50%
flopped a straight
chance.
flush against the nut flush yesterday. Super fun.
Yeah, that was sick. I seen that. Just calls thus far. If I had an
60%
ace
straight
X or
flush
king X, I would raise it up. So you're just calling here pot snatcher? Getting crushed with a smaller flush feels horrible. Playing a small flush a little bit more passively. Hit him with the boop. So you raising here, poker and pajamas?
Matt's going 250. Raise for Chip Critic. Raise call. There's a few calls in there too.
Damn, you seeing mostly raises in yours?
I'm seeing a pretty okay mix. 1, 2, 3,
I'm seeing a lot of calls.
4, 5, 6 raises. 1, 2, 3, 4 calls. John says now we can raise turn. Raise looks super strong. This was set up to push over pairs out, and the river won't miss. Make us stick around with this random high card diamond, says Cap. Julius, what are you doing?
I have bullets. I like to use them.
Right.
Pot snatcher is calling.
Says call. It's been working so far. If it ain't broke, then we won't be sued. So we're calling.
Damn, man. You know what? It's just like looking at it. I have to say the words, guys. The SPR of raising allows us to jam river and still stack over pair.
Everyone take a shot.
Yeah, it's time because if we just call here, we're gonna have to rely on him betting, then us jamming to get the money in, and him calling off. Like whereas in this case, I think if we raise, he still calls with aces, kings, queens with the diamond. He's gonna feel compelled with all those hands with the diamond to still call, and like we can then jam river and have him hero sometimes, and the stack to pot ratio is much better than what it is now. So I don't know. I mean, I'm generally just always calling because we have no bluffs, and it looks really fucking strong. Like when he does this, and he honestly, a unknown pro should fold. maybe sometimes. So I'm kind of conflicted.
I'm really interested to see what
250
Tristan
sets
says
up
here
an all-in board.
because I actually
call.
think I raise this maybe more often than I should because
I
I'm
mean-
just spreading the nuts here. Mostly I'm trying to get in by those against or trying to build a pot against those overpairs with a diamond, like you said. At the same time, like check call flop, check raise this turn. Like when do we not have a flush or a boat?
Exudes. Yeah,
Like,
there's
I can't think of
zero
anything
bluff.
but
I can't.
flush
What
or
bluff?
boat. So that's making me lean toward call. if I'm
Yeah,
honest.
I mean, in like in the same breath, like if it's a loose bad player, maybe I see raising. But this player, we probably keep our range pretty wide. I mean, we keep our range wider, of course, by calling. Still having some 10x, he might be able to think he goes 3 against with his overpairs. And we can still have some 10x hands, maybe jacks or queens if he has kings or aces. He wants to bet 3 times against, but when we fucking raise this turn, man, it's like, dude, it's
Check
insane.
call flop, check raise
Well,
the turn when
that-
It was
That's kind of-
multi-way, you know. I don't know.
That's kind of what I wonder for all the people who want to raise here.
Like,
We-
I want to call because of that.
raise-
We have to.
it's flush or boat always.
Yeah.
If you raise and then get called, you're up against what kind of range, right? Like, is the guy just gonna bet call you with black aces or black kings? Maybe, I don't know, but like, sure, if he's not gonna fold aces with the ace of diamonds or kings with the king of diamonds, but
Right.
what about all those other flush draws that dominated us betting the flop? So that's why I don't think this is a good spot to raise, because he's still going to be strong here. His range is really strong for having ace X of diamonds, king X of diamonds. Now, if we had ace X of diamonds or king X of diamonds ourselves, then yeah, I think we would want to raise some. But calling would still be cool there because, you know, like Six has said, we can just have 10x here. We can maybe have like 8s or 9s with a diamond, see another
Yeah,
card. So
our range is
if we
wider.
call, our range just stays open. Whereas if we raise, we're really representing like 10s full or 7s full or maybe the nut flush. So I just think given that our diamonds are still vulnerable, this guy bet into 4 people on the flop or 3 people on the flop. And the fact that he's still betting this turn card, I think is a little worrisome. Like I don't think you're slam dunk putting in a raise here and then going to the river and shoving all in and then being like, oh shit, I hope he calls, because if he calls, it's probably not.
It's not good for you.
Yeah, you probably thought everything worse too. Like, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, yeah,
What's
you're
the call
literally
with this
just have
worse than
like praying this man makes a mistake with aces, and then that could even fold given that action that we're taking, you know. And then everything else is just going to snap you off. And he certainly has 10s. He certainly has ace king, ace queen, ace jack of diamonds. So yeah, we just call. Oh, wait a
Would
minute.
you raise if you had ace king of diamonds here or a boat? Was this where you would open up here? Or would you have done that maybe on the flop, multi-way?
Good question. No, I think I'm probably calling. I'm probably calling here with most of my range, to be honest.
Almost no raises, right? Because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
He's approaching cooler.
Almost no raises. Although I could imagine like a hand like 2 7s probably wants to raise a lot here, but probably not as frequently with the nut diamonds or second nut diamonds, unless you're just up against someone who's going to dust it off. This guy was a pretty competent player.
He's decent enough.
Right.
Cool. Call it is.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me make sure. Pot
Julius is
snatcher.
calling.
Yeah, he had call.
He said, if it ain't fixed, don't broke it. Don't broke it. Don't break it.
So this would be a decent spot to raise your flush if you had a flush that beat all other flushes. But with the 6 high flush here, I do not think we should be raising. I think calling is really the only option. And mind you, we could be beat here. Our opponent could have a full house. You know, there are hands like flushes and full houses that beat us. And they've bet the whole way. Bet the flop into 3 people. Bet the turn into us. So it is a little concerning. Now that they check, that is good for us, more or less. We are pretty happy to see a check here because now hopefully that means we can go for value. So what should you do on the river now? Should you check? Should you bet 225 or should you bet 350?
This is a fun hand.
Yeah, for sure.
I got thoughts. What do you guys do? You guys got thoughts?
Tristan stated he would raise his ace X or king X of diamonds, but when we talk about raising, you eliminate that from our perceived range. Why is that?
Matt says, so call, leave us semi-bluffs in, semi-value in. Yeah, because when we raise the turn, we
All
just never have
225s.
anything but a boat and the nut flush.
for the most part. High flush.
Yeah, if we wanted to raise with, well, I don't think we just have the ace X of king X of diamonds. Oh, I guess what they're saying, if we have the ace high or king high flush.
Yeah, the actual
right.
Yeah.
flush.
So the reason for that is we beat all other flushes for the
Right.
most part. So you can beat 8-9 of diamonds, whatever type stuff.
Yep.
I'm seeing nothing but 225s. No 350s.
I see no answers. 350 for Chip Critic. He's going. He's pounding it.
Yeah, pot snatcher went
350
225
for Wise.
It's funny how differently our chats can be sometimes. Like there be days my chat is all one size or one thing, and then your chat is.
You think part of that's
super
because
aggro.
we do a lot of the same things. We also have slightly different styles in some ways, and so your chat's watches you all the time. It's going to be heavy leaning toward your style, and my chat's going to be heavy leaning toward the herd hammer.
Yeah,
because that's my style. All right, here it comes. 350, 350, 350. There's a 225 from Matt.
350
Julius is going
to
225, so that's what we're going to go with. Tina, good morning, Tina. She's going 225. Lots of 225s, a couple of 350s in my chat.
There's gonna be 1,000 out there. We would need to call 5. We're bolting to a raise. Yikes. Yeah, pot snatcher went 225. I mean, it's close. I mean, I'm greedy as hell. Like, I would probably go big.
Yeah, I would pound the shit out of it. I don't think they're checking boats and flushes on the river very much. But there's still some over pairs that might get sticky. They could have a hand like ace queen with a diamond. So like I would tend to go 350 here myself. To try and get called from those over pairs that are sticky, maybe a sticky 10x. And like I said, ace queen with a diamond.
Good analysis there, Jared. Yeah, like you're
just spot on. Just crushed it.
if you don't think the guy's checking that many nutted hands, like he should just be betting his boats, his ace high, king high flushes. So you can definitely just pound it here. Any 60 to, I wouldn't say 125 here, but I'd say 60 to pot is probably fine with all flushes once he checks.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I'd probably be going fucking 350 here for sure. Given the sizes, probably just almost potting it in game if I was counting stacks correctly or counting bets correctly. But yeah, I think we just don't really big here. I think there's certainly enough hands that he can call with. He may have just backed into a queen and figure he can just check call, bluff catch. He has showdown value. Some of his hands just have showdown values, jacks or something like that as well. They would just check call here. So yeah, 350 it is. We went 225 though because that's what the pot.
I think that's what Julius did too.
All right, cool.
How many points do you have so far?
We have 26.
Okay, so I think we win. We win. It's an auto win.
Wait a minute, at 30. He already did. He already said we can't cheat.
With the stacks, how they
did you push it?
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
They are, and the size of the pot, and where we exist, and how strong we are in our equity against our opponent's range. I don't think a huge bet is the right play here. I think a bet of 225 is best. We can get called by overpairs, We can get called by some 10x that wants to hero call us. Maybe there's a queen, king, ace, queen in there with a diamond that also might hero call us. So I think 225 is the best option. In this example, we did get called, and our opponent actually had a very big hand themselves, aces with the ace of diamonds. They were considering maybe check shoving, and I think we were a little deeper at this point. Maybe we both had 1,500 in front of us instead of the 1,000 that I put in the stacks. So that would have been interesting had they shoved. And I would have had to make like just a game time decision on what I felt about that, if I was bluff catching or what. But I think a better play for the aces with the ace of diamonds maybe is to just value bet the river. They bet the whole way. I think they could have thrown out another bet on the river of a third pot or quarter pot or something like that, where maybe they just hope to get called by a hero call, more or less. If I have a 10x, if I have some kind of pocket 8s, pocket 9s that might, with a diamond that might hero call. So I think aces could have maybe, I don't really think aces can fold on the river once they check the river, but Am I bluffing that often? Probably not. So either way, I think it's an interesting spot. A clear value bet for 5-6 suited once they check, but maybe aces could have lost a little less had they played the river a little differently. I think them to consider a check shove is cool, but they do have pocket aces, so they can beat a lot of hands that might be bluffing. But either way, hope you enjoy this quiz and learn something from it.
There you go.
Very good quiz, man. That was awesome.
Julius, getting the
Lots to pick
switch. I
up
want to
from.
give him his props. Also had one-on-one coaching with Julius yesterday, and the first quiz he does, he gets a swish, so I'm going to give myself some props.
Good shit, Julius, my dude.
Right on, Julius. Congratulations.
Good job,
let
buddy.
me know how you want your money, buddy. ACR, PayPal.
Great quiz for sure.
You get $5 off of Team Toe. You let me know what you want.
Yeah, that river spot for pocket aces, I think, is like the most interesting
part of the hand.
Point of the hand, right? Like you've bet the flop, you bet the turn, you got the nut flush blocker. I think like they should just be betting 30% pot or something, because how often can you then raise with all your flushes? You can't raise on a paired board with the king high flush or the queen high flush or whatever. So it kind of freezes the action, and then they can get called. You know, queen 10's always calling, 10x can hero, queen x might just somehow get there. So I think that's the interesting spot for the aces on the river.
Yeah, I would like to see them kind of use the block/value bet there, where they probably don't ever get raised, and there's certainly enough call hands that can get to the river that they get value from. So yeah, I completely agree for sure. Yeah, that's very interesting.
This is a good one.
Yeah, it is 150. I guess we can. You want to end it now? How you guys feeling?
I mean, I got time for one more. Generally, we wrap it up, but if you're feeling frisky and Tristan's got time, I could throw out one more.
One more, Tristan? You good?
I'm ready. Let's go. Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's my dude. I love it. Let's go. All right. Keyword. Goat.
Okay, 1 second.
Let's go. Keyword is goat, baby. Shout out to T-Wave for looking up one more.
New keyword is goat. Ready to go. Goat in the chat. For you to compete for the final quiz of the day, $5. What size bet are you folding 5-6 of diamonds to? Assuming they bet the river gill, is what I'm saying. Is what I think you're thinking.
I mean, he's gonna have to fucking.
You just
I mean,
not.
he's gonna have to. You're just not right. You can't.
Yeah, you just calling almost
and never raising
calling
either, right?
River bet. Yeah, whatever you bet there, I'm just calling. It's just I can't fold the flush unless you just know someone's a huge nit, and never bluffing. That would be the only way I would fold.
Yeah.
So if 6 raises, get out of there.
Yeah, right. I'm a huge niche. You better fucking run if I pop the river.
I'm setting you up for later. I'm setting you up.
I'm begging you guys to fold when I pop river.
Did you do 1059?
Let me see. 1059. We did not. We have not done the.
You want to roll with JL to close it out?
Do we? No new for us. You hate to see it. Yeah, we can do that.
Cool.
Let me see.
Go stream in the chat. Nice. No subby group this weekend, guys. I was going to do it and then didn't send the tweet out because I know the Eagles are going on and I know they start in 10 minutes. And so for you guys that want to play the Eagle events on Global, try and win your trophies, I didn't want to get in the way. So we'll do it next week.
All right. Yep. We'll do 1059 as the last one of the day as well. I am ready to roll it, my dude.
Yeah, assuming they bet River Gill, just always flatting, never folding, never raising. Ready to roll it? So are we.
What's up, Aztec? Good to see you, buddy.
Ready to go?
Yep.
Ready to go.
Where it starts. He's been active as fuck today. I love to see it. Getting active, getting rewarded, guys.
Faraz is in Vegas. He, I think he landed last night on the prowl.
He's gonna play that,
for more quizzes, I assume. That'd be dope.
I wanted to come down to play that.
Yeah, you just want to shake hands with Faraz because you like him so much.
Oh my dude, yeah.
We're trying to get him on. We're trying to get him on the stream, guys. We're trying. He's a tough one though.
He values that time. He does. Yeah. Where it starts is one, the giveaway, my dude. Hopefully he's here still. I mean, he just entered it. Yeah.
Tom Price. Name, so no way. There you go. You're out there, buddy. You're out there. Good luck, my man. Representing the Army. We're ready.
Last one. Let's do it. 1059. King Jack off. Let's play it. The people's hand.
Here we have King Jack in early position, playing 23 big blinds deep. Should we fold, call, raise to 350, or raise to 500?
All right, what are we doing with the people's hand early? Well, no, everybody actually has 20-ish bigs. The people's hand. Let's
Julia
go.
says
baby.
we want to do study group to keep me out of the Eagles. They want to try and get trophies without me in there.
All right, what are we doing here? Where it starts?
Day starts off
Anybody
great. Tom, I'm
folding?
grad, buddy. I'm grad.
350, 350, 350, 350. Anybody making this shit a special 500? Ooh,
What are you guys
Sticky's
doing?
folding.
Tina's doing 350. Matt's doing 300. 350 because you're gonna get 3 bets, says Tom. So
Damn.
he's going 350.
Somebody's had a bad life if they're scared to open a hand because they're going to get 3 bets.
No, he's still going 350.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm not opening
Might just
here
be a
because
fold
I'm
too,
scared
man.
of the monsters under the bed.
Lots of 350 streaming through the chat. Fold for Jelly because he's a super.
350 is nice. Is 1K considered small, medium, or large buy-in tournament? I would say in the live poker where it would probably be considered small. Would you say, Tristan, a 1K?
Yeah, 1Ks are probably the equivalent to small buy-in online tournaments.
Yeah, for sure. In live, just a small.
You agree, Tristan?
All the bosses out there playing fucking 5Ks, 10Ks plus and stuff.
Well, there's
so,
a massive difference between 1K
3Ks.
and like the 3,500. There's a massive.
Yeah, the 3.5Ks has some monsters in there for sure.
Everyone wants to be like you, Tina. Of course. You're famous.
All right, yeah, this is pretty easy. I see one fold. I see a couple folds and mostly 350s. In a shove, of course.
Yeah, I see a bunch of 350s too.
Yeah, I mean, whoever says fold, we need to be opening this hand, in my opinion. The shorter we are, the more value our high cards have as everyone's shallower because they're going to be folding a lot of those hands that, they're just flat, they're undercards. So blocking hands, we just want to open hands like this a lot. High card hands when we're shoulders. So, yeah, you agree, Tristan? You opening here, of course? Or
Yeah,
of course.
I mean, dude, he's a player, of course. We just need a man flat 5-6 suited.
That's true. He's not folding fucking King Jack.
Right? Come on, like nobody raised. I can come in first to the pot.
Yeah.
So like here's how I look at these spots. Well, first of all, there's 7 people in the pot, so we're 7-handed, so our range can open up a little bit. And then I think we want to have some bluffs on like a 20-ish big blind stack. So I think King Jack offsuit would probably be the bottom of like my bluffing, quote unquote bluffing range here. So yeah, you want to have some hands that just aren't great. And I think King Jack off is good here. I would also be playing like Queen Jack off too. And so yeah, 350, it's a semi bluff. It plays well still post flop. And if there's more action behind you, like someone 3-bet you, you can just fold. So it's pretty easy spot here. If it was like under the gun 9, then you could fold. If it was under the gun 8, I still think it's close to a raise.
Yeah, I agree.
This is one of those hands too. When you look at the charts, like for every position, this isn't open a lot of the time. Like this is like you said, the bottom most of the time.
For sure. We want to open these high card offsuit hands the shallower we get.
Yeah, I don't want to give any spoilers for later in the hand, but I got comments on that thought process too. So this is like,
and again, in a 1K tournament, it's a small to medium buy-in, right? Mm-hmm. So like for some people in a live 1K tournament, I think they're going to be playing a little more cautiously, probably. Rather, yeah. Either way.
Tristan going down that too rich to care moment where he could just rebuy. It's a game.
Yeah,
these guys can't rebuy.
Bitch and I'm hurting.
I got a bigger bankroll than you.
I try not to play like that. I try not to play like that.
All right, 350 it is. Let's roll it.
It's probably fine just to fold the King Jack offsuit from under the gun and under the gun +1. It's not a great hand. We have to worry about everyone else at the table. So with a shallow stack, to the point that if we raise, we're just going to get jammed on by a lot of the players yet to act, you'd probably rather just not even play these hands.
Hey.
If you do know that your opponents are going to jam very straightforwardly, then raising is fine with the big blocker hands, like ace 10, ace 9, king jack, with the idea that if you raise and get jammed on, you're just going to fold. But I would generally just fold this. I do raise at this time, though, and look, raising's fine. I don't think it's like bad by any means, but it's a close spot, and you probably want to avoid these close spots in these scenarios. So we do raise, big blind calls, flop comes ace, king, 9, opponent checks. Should we check? Bet 250, bet 500, or bet 800?
The chat's going crazy for the 10 points full. Dude, raising 350 was 9 points. It's not like it was wrong.
It's not wrong.
That's bad scoring by Jonathan. That's bad.
Should have flipped it. Yeah, I mean, 9 points. Definitely not wrong.
Man.
It's not close. And like we said, bottom of the range.
I agree, man. That hurt me to see, like, yeah, I mean, because if that's the case, I guess I'm, way too loose. Because
there's the thing too. If you just
seven-handed
fold,
as well, it's like,
if you fold and get 10 points, how do you gain more points throughout the quiz? So it's actually the wrong play, isn't it? Like,
there you go, extra leveling.
Touche.
And Tom's angry because he raised in game and still gave him the 9 points. You know.
Yeah.
Yep. That doesn't matter. Sometimes they trick you that way.
I don't give myself a chance to get 10 points throughout the hand.
Greater
Yeah.
than 9. 10 is greater than 9. You got me on that one.
All right, what are we doing here?
C-bet or no? What y'all think? DC Doorknob coming out with the check. Tina checking.
Check middle pair. Check. People are saying, I like King Jack better in the trash. It's the people's hand. Watch your mouth.
Check in.
We go to war with King Jack. Check. Pot Snatcher says.
Lots of checks.
250.
I know, it's surprising. 250. Gets us information and value. Sure.
What are you doing, Tom? Up, Tom, C-bet auto. 2/3 pot. So he's going big.
Yeah, and wait a minute. Who the hell won this quiz? Why am I drawing the blank? Oh, yeah, where it starts. What are we doing here, my dude? Let me check. Zoned out.
So 2/3 pot is about 650. So are you going 800, Tom, or are you going 500?
Oh, he hasn't done anything yet. Where it starts, where you at? He's feeling it out.
250 for Gil, 500 for Tom.
I'm aggressive in betting at least 250, maybe 500. So he's going what? 250 it is.
500 for us.
Ooh, so you're going 250 where it starts. I want to clarify. And if you don't answer in 5 seconds, I have to assume 250. He's going 500. Oh, shit. I'm glad you said something.
So it says, I guess bet 250. Big bunch should have many ace X, and if it calls, I would think they have a weak ace. Also, we followed out 8s and under.
Yeah, we didn't even say what we're doing. Just small C-bet. We get to C-bet range. We hit so many very strong hands here. We have the Jack of Hearts, we can call check raises. I want him to continue with worst King X, 9X, backdoor. So yeah, we just get to bet small frequently in this spot. Against big blind, I'm not worried about checking to protect my range. I'm just going to be betting here.
Yeah, me too. I'm betting range against big blind here too. A little value, a little protection. I think it's better aces what it raises pre, and I don't want to give a free draw to all the gutters and the heart draws and all that kind of shit that's out there.
Yeah, even though we block that stuff, but
we get value
at the
from
same
King
time
X too.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, what you guys said is spot on because, and I see people in the chat not really thinking like this, but in these spots you need to think about your range, and then think about like what hand you have in coordination with the board. So, this is a spot where our opponent's probably never going to have ace king, unlikely to have aces, unlikely to have kings, unlikely to have pocket nines even, because that just gets all in pre-flop for the most part. So you want to think about your range here. So this is just one of those boards that we're going to be c-betting a lot, and with our range when we have it, when we don't. And you don't need to bet big here because we have such a range advantage over a big blind who's going to defend like any suited hand and all these other types of hands. So then the second thing is looking at how your hand aligns with the board, and Six has made a good comment about it. We have middle pair, we have backdoor flush draw with the Jack of Hearts. So if we do bet and get raised, we have a candidate that's going to continue. So yeah, just thinking of our range here, it's a pretty easy small bet.
And some of his range of check raise is going to be just bare heart draws. If he's kind of weird and bad, like, yeah, we should just have an easy call to a check raise as well. So, yep. I mean, yeah, he nailed it. I think this is. I hope Jonathan. I've seen Jonathan check these spots, so we'll see.
Oh, no, is Jonathan going to be on Knit Island? No, he's C-betting.
Yeah, I've seen Jonathan's like, we have a marginal made hand and we want to check back. If we get too straight,
say that a lot.
I swear. Yeah, well,
Say those words a lot.
I'm betting, but let's see. I know if we ran this in a sim right now, we're betting.
Pretty sure I'm betting.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I've seen this.
Cool. Bet 500 for us.
250 here. 500 for where it starts as well. Let's do it.
This is a neat situation because we have a very obvious marginal made hand, but this is a spot where we should have a very big range advantage and a very big nut advantage.
Yeah, we'll run this one.
So in this spot, you want to ask, what does the opponent very likely have that will continue? And it's going to be pairs and gut shots, right? Obviously, he could have a lot of the ace-x. He would not necessarily jam all of them. If he does have ace-x, it's going to be a marginal ace-x, so we're probably not going to get jammed on the flop, so that's a reason to bet.
Dude.
Notice that if we would bet in this spot normally, perhaps we would go slightly larger, like 500, but I think with the jack of hearts in our hand, blocking queen jack, jack 10, obvious heart draws, I think that's a reason to bet on the smaller side if we are going to bet. So in this spot, I'm either going to check or bet small, and I think we can go either way. What would I normally do here? It's close. I think I probably am just checking more often than not. But, I mean, if you said you wanted to bet 250, I think that's perfectly fine. As you start betting bigger and bigger, like 500 or 800, that's going to result in your opponent folding out all their junk for sure, but they're not going to fold out an ace ever, which means we're just losing more money than necessary when we do happen to run into the ace. This time it does go check, check, turns to 3 of clubs, and now the opponent bets 350, 1/3 pot. Should we fold, call, raise to 900, or go all in?
Tom says, no free cards on my table. Yeah, I think the big thing is also, Tom, consider your stack size when you're thinking about your bet size. We can go small here because we only have 21 bigs to start the hand, right? So it's effective. And they only have 20 bigs, too, behind. So we could bet smaller and be just as effective.
We got to run this, Santo. I think we got to.
I wrote down.
Run. Yeah, I was about to start taking notes.
We're going to run it, and then depending on what it says, we might write a sternly written letter to Uncle Jonathan.
Hey, Uncle, if you want me to start running these things before you put these videos up? No, I'm kidding.
Tristan, I know you got him on speed dial. we might need to call him on the bat phone.
I could be way off here. I mean, if there are candidates to check, it could be like this type of hand, but I think it's probably not. I think maybe the hands we would check are like 9-10 or 8-9 or something, but I could be.
I mean, we might be betting fucking range here, honestly.
Yeah, I honestly think it's a range. I honestly think it's a range spot where you just bet range. Like you're probably betting here 80+% of the time, but
has to be, dude, right?
But yeah, maybe there's the random like this hand checks because of the stack size,
right?
Checks like
20. Maybe this mixes sometimes or something like that.
But yeah, I would say probably not. It's probably a range bet.
Yeah, we wrote it down. We're gonna have to look. We'll definitely have to see
We're
it
running
soon. But yep, cool.
Okay.
Easy call, reevaluate. Aztec says,
Sales credits don't lie. Check that shit. Hey, that might be a very real possibility. We're gonna run it. We might learn something today. I mean,
yep.
There's no question.
Call tough to raise after the check. True. Yeah, I mean everybody's calling. I think
Tom's raising.
wait a minute.
Says I have to raise.
Tom is raising and we are still waiting on
I assume you're raising 900, Tom.
Oh no, it is call. He's calling you. Sorry, I see you. Any of you guys raising here? I think we got both the contestants here.
He said he's raising. I'm pretty sure he means raise and not jam. Raise and fold, he says.
Oh, he's gonna raise. Okay. Yeah, I'm never turning my hand into a bluff. We can just call here. He still has worse king X. They might just stab. Via does have an ace X. He's never folding it. We get better to call and worse to fold. It feels like when we do raise.
Yeah, it is awkward when they lead into you like this. And we were talking about the skill level on these like $1,000 tournaments. You see a lot of this, the low buy-in online tournaments. Like this is.
But we check back flop. I mean, he could be betting.
It's
a probe.
Do we check?
I don't think he's doing
flop.
Yeah, we check.
Oh,
we check.
So he's
flop.
just betting a position. Betting.
Yeah, he's just
because
betting.
we check.
Yeah.
Even still, I don't think I'm ever raising, but at the same time, I'm never folding. I don't like what is. I don't know what raising. I don't know what we get called by that's worse a lot, especially when we have the Jack of Hearts. So he doesn't have like Jack 10 of Hearts. He doesn't have Queen Jack of Hearts and things like that. You know, I think calling is probably the only option.
Villain's bet size gets a score of 0. Matt Affleck says.
You guys are right though. When it comes to this spot, like, you know, poker is like when you have a really good hand or nothing, you want to put more money in. When you have something in the middle, you usually want to control the pot. So here, there's really no point in raising because we get hands that we crush to fold that we are beating already, and then when we get them to put more money in the pot, we're likely beat. So yeah, this is just one of those spots where call is really the only option.
Question was, can we raise to stop them from bombing river? I mean, we definitely do that sometimes. I think here we just have too much shutdown value, and that's super awkward.
Yeah, we don't need to raise because again, we can beat bluffs. We just don't need to raise. There's no point in doing that.
Cool.
Nope.
We're raising though, because we're savage. All right, Tom, here we go.
We're calling. Let's do it.
We have a crystal clear marginal made hand at this point. I literally am never ever raising. I am never ever folding. This is a hand that has plenty of showdown value, and we've induced bluffs by checking behind on the flop. So this is just a very easy call. There's no point at all in raising. Some people may think, oh, should we min raise and then fold if our opponent jams? Because if he jams, we know he has his beat, and if he calls, well, he's going to call with a lot of stuff, and then we can check the river. If you know your opponent's going to play absolutely that straightforwardly, then it may actually have some merit. But it's tough to know how the opponents will play, and I'm also a really big fan of just keeping the opponent's range as wide as possible. Because, now this happens. Our opponent bets 550 on the river, a third pot again. Should we fold, call, raise to 1,400, or go all in?
Tom really against give him a free heart. But like I said, we block a lot of the hearts. I guess he's a big blind fan. He's going to have a lot of hearts. So I take that back. Matt calling. Tom just calling now. Chip Critic calling. When you said 1K was equivalent to small buy-in, I didn't believe you until I saw
Call
this
his
hand.
flush chasing ass down.
Everybody
clear
call.
I mean, 550. There's 2 Ks out there. What are you guys thinking? Anybody folding? Anybody raising?
There's this all calls.
It's all calls, like clear call.
Because sometimes when it's a tough decision, you'll see the chat wait for people to reply, and then they'll start to pick up as one person replies because they're thinking about it and don't want to be the first guy. But in this case, calls just started streaming through the chat. No one was thinking about it. There was a timing tell. Did you guy go?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, he snapped. Yeah,
I mean, nothing changed, right? We're just calling here. Can't raise. It's all the same analysis.
Same stuff. What's the point in raising? If you want to try to get an ace to fold, like that's a little ambitious, just pointless too. And the sizing here is the key component. You have to call 550 to win what?
2250, so 75. I mean, you got to call like over 75% of your range. I mean, we show up with we're just near the top. There's worse hands than this we might have to call with. So
you only need to be good here less than a quarter of the time, so it's a pretty easy call.
Yep. Yeah, it's easy call. We only have to be right here less than a quarter of the time. Like he said, pot odds 6. He may feel compelled to go bet with a worse King X to block, 9X, a bluff because he inappropriately sized. He can just do all kind of weird shit. It does not mean he has an ace because he bet twice. So, yep, we snap.
Cool. Let's check it out.
You ready?
Yep.
I am calling in this spot basically every time. I think folding is only viable if you just know that your opponent does not bluff the river. But when your opponent bets a third pot, it's actually possible the guy is value betting worse, and there are plenty of busted draws and or just total error hands, like 8-7, that the opponent may feel very inclined to bluff because he has no showdown value. You may say, why would he ever bluff for a third pot? Well, because maybe the guy doesn't know what he's doing. Maybe he decides that he needs to have some bluffs in this third pot range and decides to go for it. I don't know what the opponent's doing, but this is a situation where I can be pretty confident calling because it went check on the turn, and when it went check on the flop, and when it goes check on the flop, and I just call the turn, a lot of people will think my range is very marginal, and that's going to result in them either going for thin value with some hands that I actually beat, or it's going to result in them bluffing some portion of the time. So I think this is a pretty easy call. No point in raising the river for value or as a bluff. It doesn't make sense because the opponent's probably not going to fold an ace. Obviously, if you could make your opponent fold every ace on the river or every one pair hand on the river, then jamming would be quite nice. But when some obvious draws miss, like the hearts, and you block the hearts for your opponent, meaning that they're more likely to have a made hand, I don't think that they're going to fold to a jam with an ace all that often. Easy call, though.
Snap.
And this time he was actually value betting with worse, which I do not think was a good play, but it is a play that many people make.
Value town himself.
So, question for you guys. If we bet flop and he calls, are you guys betting turn, again, small? You guys checking and then bluff catching river with the heart draw out there? How do you guys approach the spot when we do bet 250 on the flop and get this turn? Just asking you two.
Well, I like what you said. Like, just going to that point of how we could just bet small on the flop with our range and get called, right?
Yeah.
Well, on the turn, it's same principles. What's the point in us betting the turn? I don't think we would want to bet the turn. I think it's one of those spots where we're in the middle of our range. We want to control the pot. So yeah, I would be checking the turn, and then when my opponent checks the river, because I would imagine a king would then check the river after check calling the flop, and the turn goes check, check. Then I think we could go for a value bet if we felt like our king was good, which would probably be
You may
fine.
feel inclined to turn some hearts into a bluff if you get called with the hard draw that can't show down. But you see a lot of guys on this board maybe not turn their hand into a bluff enough as well. So even a little bit more incentive to check turns and, get the showdown. And then we can also bluff catch. So yeah, interesting spot, man.
Yeah, I think the default here, that how this hand would be played, is the big blind would check call a small bet, the turn would go check check, and then on the river, I don't think the king 10 suited would bet a whole lot. I think they would just check, and then I think we kind of awkward zone of betting for value. I think king queen would probably be a clear bet for value. I think king jack is probably a bet still, but more on the smaller sizing, I would imagine.
Like 40% or so going into the river, 40-50%. Like we don't get to use a big size. 30% in position.
Yeah, too. I say with second pair and a decent kicker on this board texture, it'd probably be smaller in hopes to get called by a 9x type hand.
Yeah, some of those 9x.
Maybe even quarter to 35% pot.
Right.
Bet.
Yeah, because I don't think he's ever going to really check raise in this spot when mesh draws are out there as well. Just probably, I like it.
Yeah, and then maybe you end up hero calling if he does check shove somehow. I know it's kind of trick, but really, what can he have? I don't know.
Yeah, a tag player, somebody you got tagged, probably not messing with him as much.
Jared, did you get to run this hand yet, or how do you guys do it in the study sessions? You look.
I write it down on my little post-it note, run it in Pio, and then find out. Six and I were talking about this. I actually have 3 quizzes here that we wanted to run from previous stuff. We might make a little content. We should run them together, Sixes, and then put a little
like talk them through
5-minute clip of what would you do, and just kind of a little bite-sized portion for those.
Refer back to the quiz number and go back through the quiz maybe.
So I think that's the idea.
Kind of break it down to Pio.
Are you dying to know?
I'm just curious a little bit, because I do think it's a spot on the flop where we bet our range, but I know that there probably would be some checks, but I think the checks are more like pocket jacks, 9x, but even those hands might just be betting range here. So it is an interesting spot. I'm pretty sure it's like a range bet, but I would be interested in seeing what the solver says to check.
Agreed, man. I think we'll definitely run it. We've been running some of the past quiz wins.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I'm bringing it up right now.
That'll do it, man. We went long today. Holy shit.
We did. I'll run this. We'll make a little clip of something and get it back to you guys, because it's going to take me 10 or 15 minutes to run it. So yeah, we'll find out. We'll definitely find out. What'd you get? We got 20.
Oh shit.
Some points.
Oh shit. I just bounced like it was over. Didn't announce the. So I can go back and see the quiz score. Which one was it?
10:59.
We got a 34. We should.
26. You beat us.
Boom.
28. There you go.
Where it starts. Good job, my dude. Make sure to whisper me. ACR, PayPal. I got you, my dude. Congratulations. And thank you guys for joining today. Explanation Point PC in my chat. Antos. Get some of these free quizzes, charts, courses, homeworks, all kind of shit. It's awesome. Ton of killer coaches on the site as well. Theoretical, exploitative, mind, body, and soul. You got it all. And also, make sure to give Tristan a follow, man. He's awesome. Are you still looking for students?
You got anything to promote here, Tristan?
Yeah, you got anything
Take
you want to promote, my dude?
To whore out whatever you want.
Cool. Well, I'll just whore out myself then. Follow me on social media, I guess. I'm at Tristan Creative. Holler at us on pokercoaching.com. There's so much great content on there. As you see, the quizzes are awesome. We got webinars. We got videos. I make multiple videos a month. I make at least 2 videos and a webinar and then a bunch of quizzes. So I'm on there. And then Oh yeah, that's about it. I mean, I got a newsletter I would do, but I kind of put that on pause for now. And just follow me if you guys care. If you want to reach out, I do take students. I have a handful of students right now, so anyone wants one-on-one poker coaching, it's available.
There you go. Tristan, thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate you.
I threw his link in chat, guys.
Hanging
Make sure to
out
give him a follow.
and jumping on the opportunity. You gave me an immediate yes. It wasn't even a hard sell. I appreciate you taking the time early on a Saturday. It was good, man. I really appreciate it.
No, thanks guys for having me. This is awesome what you guys are doing. I love how you engage with your community and you both do your own streams and you just bring it all together in one. It's super cool.
Yeah, man, we love doing this. Our communities are amazing. They're growing, and we appreciate you guys coming and giving something back and spending a little time with these guys because, I mean, you guys are crushers. You've been in the game for a long time, and there's something to learn, guys, by following these guys, listening to the little nuggets of information they give out. So it's phenomenal, man. And it's good catching up with you again after hanging out in Vegas last time, man. That was a good time. That was
right
fun.
Before the world ended.
Picasso
right?
was good.
We got a really nice dinner in right before the world ended.
We went to Picasso. Yeah, it was literally, I came home and everything was shut down like that next week. Yep. So that was my last time in Vegas. So.
Cali B, thank you for the follow. Wisco, thank you for the 31 months. Deuterino, thank you for the 26 months. God, you guys are savages. Been here forever. I appreciate you. Cool. Exclamation point PC in chat. We talked about that. If you like this one, if you missed part of it, if you want to see any of the ones we've done in the past, they're on the YouTube channel, exclamation point YouTube. I put it in the chat for you, or you can find it yourself. You can watch them back. If you have any questions for me, Sixes, any of our guests, Tristan, go ahead and ask in the chat there. I'll make sure they get them and get you some answers. And stay tuned for the little quizzes we're gonna run in Pio and see what's up. That's all I got. Who you want to throw the host over to, Sixes?
We got.
There's a lot of people on that. Killingbird, Drew,
Killingbird, Drew,
Ebony,
Paris, Ebony, Grits.
Jen. Got anyone in particular?
I don't know how you feeling. You got a preference, Tristan? Any of these guys friends?
I say go B Paris. I took
too,
some coaching from him actually.
Ape Style is streaming right now, too.
I take coaching too. So actually,
Me too,
B
man.
Paris and Ape Styles were two guys I got coaching from in the last year to try to continue to grow my game. So
look at that shit, boys.
Awesome. Because those guys are online crushers.
I mean, that's a good point too, because Sixes and I get coached as well. I mean, it never ends, right? Negrano's in that challenge of poke. He's got coaches right now too, and he's fucking Negrano, right? So like,
there's always something to coaching.
It's just like life, there's always something to learn. You can't be set in your ways, and especially with technology we have in the solvers and stuff, it's good to just get other people's expert opinion. So
sure. Cool. We'll drop it off to B Paris. Thanks again, you guys. Thank you. Make sure to be loud when you get over to B Paris's stream. And we'll be back next week. You want to spoil next week's guest before we go, Tom? Or you want to wait?
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm double checking the date because I'm pretty sure I know who it is. I believe it's going to be El Sriracha. On the 21st. Yes, El Sriracha.
Yes.
We have El Sriracha joining us from the
that's
DFS
my girl
guys.
right there.
Yeah, El Sriracha is going to be here next week. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, El's going to join us next week, and we got some other ones that we're lining up for the week after. So stay tuned out. It's going to be a lot of good time.
Yep, a lot of cool guests. We got guests nonstop. It'll be fun going into the holidays. Thank you. We're kicking it off, and take care, guys.
See ya.
Peace.
Thanks, guys. That was cool.
Stop stream.